We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up, grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do it a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut up
tape.
and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape,
The
bro.
tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Idle. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Wednesday evening, boys. I feel like we've been opening up shows the last couple of weeks, been talking about, oh, I know it's football season. I know it's football season when. I know it's football season. I know it's football season when we're cranking out Wednesday shows. That's when I know it's football season. Amen?
We're here.
We are here on a Wednesday. Glad to be here with you live Monday through Thursday now, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. You should know that as soon as week 0 concludes, we'll be live at noon on Sunday as well. What is that, August 25th? That sound about right? Something like that. We got a Sunday show coming up after week 0, so just letting you know where we're at in terms of schedule. We got a loaded one for you today. First Wednesday show of the season means we've got What If Wednesday coming to you tonight. As you can tell by the title of tonight's show, we're going to ask tonight, is Arch Manning being set up a little bit by the national media? We think so. We'll talk about it. I think Texas's most important player returns to their roster this year, hopefully healthy as well. So there's that. We got a Heisman preview for you guys tonight on the national show. What else we got? We got Tennessee stuff to talk about. We got a uniform change. Gonna be 3 striping up there in Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll talk about that tonight as well. And I'm rocking ECU, not only in honor of my man Blake Harrell, but in honor of my boy Jay Will giving us that mid-major talk tonight. How about it?
It might be the most dynamic segment we've had this entire offseason.
You think so?
Yeah.
You can bring that juice tonight, huh?
Am I going to bring the juice?
Ain't no foos in this
There's
one.
no foosing G5 football.
I feel that, baby.
That's mostly what people do, Jay.
No, it's not.
No.
Look, yours
not
is
here. Not here.
his
Not
is
on this
authentic.
network. We don't bring that
Mr.
foos.
I love college football fooses through G5 football on a Thursday.
I'm saying the majority of analysts and the majority of people who say they care about college football foos their way through it.
This is absurd.
I'm not accusing you of doing that.
This is absurd.
Don't worry.
This is why the segment has to happen tonight.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is a crazy narrative.
We'll check the retention numbers on it later. We'll see whether or not the audience is a bunch of foos on the mid-majors too. But I think they're going to bring that juice tonight. I trust our audience. Our audience more ball curious than any other audience on the internet. So shout out to you guys. Being certified ball knowers, whomst are every once in a while ball curious. So how about you guys? Welcome in. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Like, subscribe, and rate, review. And I got to be honest with you. I was at a high school football game until about, 20 minutes ago?
Just about, yeah.
The boys over here probably going to steer the ship tonight. They're going to run this here pirate ship tonight on the show. So what do we got first, boys? After we make sure everyone hits that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review.
I think it's only right that since it's our first Wednesday show, that we open things up with What If Wednesday, a staple of this show, if you will.
One of my favorite segments we do, a recurring segment.
We love to see it. Come on, hit me with one. Give me a what if.
I'll start off. What if South Carolina regresses back to a 7-5 football team?
Lenoris got hurt. I think Lenoris is 8 wins off rip.
Really?
Yeah. But I think he's that good.
What if it isn't, though? What if they were truly regress back to that, and it's 2022 offensive line, and he's running for his life that much? And is it time to start having questions about Shane Beamer?
I mean, you can't. You just extended him to through 2031.
Oh yeah, not
what you can do is feel like you just got Mike Norvell.
Yeah, not from.
I think everybody's terrified of that. By the way, the idea that we gave a coach that's like maybe decent. A 10-year contract extension, and we're tied to this guy till 2031.
And I don't think from the job security standpoint you're going to have any conversations about Shane Beamer. Like it's very apparent that he's the right guy there, even if they go 7-5 this year. But I think there is a discussion that needs to be had about whether or not he can deliver on high expectations, because this is the second or third time he's come into a season with high expectations. Remember when they closed out that 22 season really strong? I believe it was they almost beat Notre Dame in a bowl game. They beat Clemson on the road. It was like, hey, South Carolina's going to be pretty good in 2023, and they ended up just not being that.
What if Joey Aguilar is like way better than Nico?
Then Tennessee might not be as bad off as we all think they are.
Which, by the way, I personally think might be a possibility. Like they could have used Nico's legs this year. I think the run game's going to take a massive hit because of Dylan Sampson's exit, all that good stuff. Cooper Mays being out, they're going to have to work in a new center who, by the way, I think has a higher ceiling than Cooper. I've always said on this network that Josh Heupel's biggest feat is having Tennessee fans thinking that Cooper Mays is good. That was crazy to me. By the way, is he on an NFL roster?
I know he got picked up by the Panthers. I don't know if he's still there.
Undrafted free agent style. Okay, so we were kind of right on that one. All right, just making sure. But yeah, like that's how good that run scheme normally is. But I think honestly, like Nico was so below average last year in comparison to what people thought he was doing.
Yeah,
I think was not very good.
I think part of the question that comes into that is even if Joey Aguilar is that accurate on the deep ball, because we all know that was kind of the hindrance for them last year.
Dude, he dotted up at App State.
Are the weapons good enough to
that was going to be
that
my
kind of
point.
separation?
No. But they're identical, if not equal, to last year.
And they had opportunities.
I mean, guys, if Chris Brazel's healthy, how much better or worse is he than Dante Thornton?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know Dante Thornton got drafted pretty high. He ran real well at the combine. He's big. He's physical. All that good stuff. But like, if Mike Matthews is halfway what we thought he was, that guy should be better than Squirrel White, guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We
all think that. Like, so they got Kitzelman back. So they've got options, I think. Just not great ones.
On top of that, too, the schedule isn't that bad. No. Like compared to all the other SEC schedules, like it's really not that much of a gauntlet. Like, you even open up with Syracuse, which I know people are thinking is going to be a test for them, and it certainly will be considering what the offense is kind of dealing with right now. But once you get into the meat of the schedule, like for conference play, it's Georgia and Alabama, and that's kind of about it to that extent. So like it's really not that bad of a schedule either. So if he gets rolling, if he's clicking with them this year, they could certainly be better. Oh, what if Thomas Castellanos works out at Florida State?
Well, if that's a question,
Gus Malzahn, Ed Broyles Award?
It might not be.
Right? I mean, it would have to be. If Thomas Castellanos, and by the way, what is working out? Is that like 9 wins, 3,200 all-purpose?
That's
what is working out?
Like end of the year, we sit here and say Thomas
wasn't bad.
Yeah, Thomas Castellanos played better than he did at Boston College.
Well, first of all, I think that's very plausible. I think Gus Malzahn far more conducive to the skill sets of Castellanos than a Bill O'Brien system. Which, by the way, I think Dylan Lonergan's going to light it the hell up in Bill O'Brien's system. So there's that. But no, it could go better. It could look more explosive with Gus than it did with Bill.
I think the thing for me would be like the measuring stick would be, again, at the end of the year, we say Thomas Castellanos, a hit in the portal for Florida State.
Yeah, and I think that you build some momentum towards 2026 with Mike Norvell, where right now there's nothing. What if USC goes 8-4 this year? Not good enough to make the playoff, not up to the standard, but also not really egregious enough to fire Lincoln Riley?
Got a top 5 class, nothing matters.
So it's just that. It's just you're just treading through. With
got a top 5 class, nothing matters. Unless you go 4-8.
Yeah.
You do something like that, we're going to pull you up out of there.
Yeah.
But nah, that dude's cushy. He approaches the position like he knows he's got a cushy job out there.
Yeah.
I think he does.
My question for USC was, what if USC's defense is good enough to compete in the Big Ten this year, but the offense has its ups and downs?
Dude, we talked about it when we did the Big Ten preview. USC, a Lincoln Riley football team for the first time in his lifetime as a football coach, has a defensive personality on the roster. Apart from the wide receiver who's been making plays all offseason, I can't name, and Maeva, I can't, and Longstreet, because I know him, or we covered him in high school. I can't name too many offensive players at USC, but I can rattle off some defensive guys.
Yeah.
I know number 18 is going to be great, the linebacker, right? John Jarrett's over there. They got several transfers into the defensive tackle position. Like, they went out and spent on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, again, like the point for me about USC this offseason has been that, has been that I feel more confident in the defense improving this year than I do in the offense playing better this year. And that feels weird to say about a Lincoln Riley-led team.
Hey, what if we don't have a dominant team in college football? Like, what if we look up at the end of the year and, I don't know, the national champion's a 2-loss football team and they got hot late. I feel like this year we're gonna have a lot of football teams at the end of it say that was we had a chance. We should have won that.
I mean, I think
you have 6 or 7 teams like that.
I think you kind of felt this way last year. I would say that there was a team that dominated last year.
Nah, dude, Ohio State ransacked the entire playoff.
Yeah, but they didn't dominate. Like, they didn't dominate the entire year.
The narrative that they got hot at the end of the year is exactly the same for everyone.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think my what if is, what if we don't have an Ohio State? What if we just got some, like, Penn State wins it last year, squeaking through, gets Boise State this year. You see what I'm saying? Like, squeaks the mid-major, barely beats a lesser than Notre Dame team, and then has a late turnover and wins a national championship.
I think at that point you just kind of say, like, this is what happens in college football now. The great teams have to win in the margins.
And that's what I think my overarching point of asking the question was to get to, right? Is just to say, like, I think the margins are way tighter.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
This year.
For sure.
I think that's just kind of what you've opened yourself up to when you get a 12-team playoff. If that scenario very well could happen, where at the end of the year you get a national title winner where it may not feel like you're at peace with who actually won the national title. Like, it doesn't feel like that was like the best ending to the season.
Guys, what if the non-P5 like really sucks this year? What if the non-P4 is like a 9-3?
And
we just get to walk them into the 12th seed.
I mean, I think at that point we begin like on a real.
Do you think they would rewrite the rules?
Probably
of the playoff in midseason?
I think you have.
Like, if we have an Alabama or a Georgia at 9-3, and the highest P4 football team is 9-3, non-P4, they rewrite that law right then and there.
You would hope so,
right?
You would hope so.
This could be every year. How often in college football do we have no elite mid-major team, though? And look, you're Mr. Mid-Major tonight, so you're going to give us 15 minutes on mid-major football. I don't know if we've ever had this, what I'm talking about. There's always a Northern Illinois. There's always a Boise State. There's always a Cincy. There's always a UCF.
Yeah.
It feels like, right?
Yeah, I think if you want to fix the mid-major problem, and it's not going to fix it because we all think they're still sacrificial lambs by the time they get to the playoff, give them a set of requirements that you have to do. You have to have a 10-win record or better that has 2 Power 4 opponents on that schedule. Something like that. Instead of just saying, all right, if you're, we're going to pick the 11-win team out of here, or if everyone sucks, you're 9-3, no one gets in. Like, don't make it to where it's an automatic bid for the Group of 5 team just because it's charity. Make them actually earn it by actually going out and playing Power 4 teams and having a substantial record.
I think Chad makes a good point, though, of like, in your scenario, like if a G5 team gets over like a 9-3 South Carolina or something like that this year, and they get the doors blown off of them in the first round, that's just going to probably push them to say, oh, well, this is why we need 16. We just need to open it up to more teams.
Yeah. It's.
I think that's a more likely scenario.
I think we just need to be honest and say that you're just not, like, I'm sorry. And if you talk to mid-major football coaches, they'll tell you there is a major difference between what we got going on in mid-major and what the P4's got going on every single day in the building.
I think that the problem is
it's just crazy to me.
I think the playoff committee so badly wants to create the type of environment that March Madness creates. Like, they want that type of, like, they want a Cinderella story. Like, that's the whole reason why you're putting one of these teams in there.
Until that shit happens and Loyola's playing Duke in the quarterfinal and y'all ain't watching it.
Not only that,
it's the lowest number every year. It happens every time one of them Cinderella gets into the Final Four or the Elite Eight. It's the lowest rated TV game that there is in the tournament. And why? Because y'all act like y'all love these Cinderellas. Y'all don't. Y'all want Texas, Ohio State 1,000 times over. That's what you want. And because the numbers say you want.
Football is more predictable than basketball is. So you just can't do that. What if Penn State's wide receivers are really good this year? Like, they hit on all their transfer additions, but Drew Allard doesn't progress.
If Drew Allard doesn't progress and he stays the same quarterback that he is, but their wide receivers are that much better, I would argue that Penn State still is not going to be able to get over the Ohio State, the Oregon, the whatever, name a top 10 team hump. Because, like we've said, the hindrance has always been 2 things: situational coaching and quarterback play. And if Drew Allard doesn't progress, I don't know what makes me think that James Franklin's going to all of a sudden become some coach that makes the right decisions in these top 10 matchups. I mean, we're going on 10 years of him being the coach now, to where it necessarily hasn't happened.
I see folks in the comments asking me to stop sniffling on the microphone. I will attempt to try. All right.
You need a sniffle button. Like a cough button.
Like a cough button or a sniffle button or something over here. But yeah, I need something over there. That's on me. We're fighting. We're fighting tonight. I was going to go the whole night without even complaining, but chat wants to get on me, so now I get to make excuses, We love that. Let's see here. What if we hit 100K this season?
I think it's very possible.
That'd be cool.
It's very plausible as well. Not if I don't stop sniffling on the microphone. But yeah, I think it's very plausible we hit 100K by end of year.
That'd be pretty cool.
Our track
we
record
doubled in size last year. Why not this year?
That's what I was going to say. Is like our track record would indicate that that's a very likely possibility for that to happen for us this year.
That means in 5 years we'll have 5 million subscribers.
Dude, I'm down.
Sign me up.
Exponential growth.
Yeah.
Talk to him now.
All right, this is a question I'm asking solely for Clemson and Dabo Swinney. What if LSU goes in week 1 and just stomps them in Death Valley?
Just
mud slaps them.
Same old Clemson's back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you do that, that's 7 straight losses to ranked SEC opponents. That's the 3rd or 4th time in the last 2 to 3 years where you've gone to the field and a team that we believe it has better talent absolutely just wipes you out. I think at that point it's time to start having questions and concerns about Dabo Swinney, because we've all talked about it. The national media says it. Clemson says it. Everyone in the ACC is saying this is the best Clemson team we've seen since those title runs that went, or since 2020 when Trevor Lawrence was there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be this one would be a tougher look for them, because this time you're playing at your home field. Like, it's not a neutral site in Atlanta against Georgia, and it's not the Duke's Mayo Bowl or anything like that, and it's not going to Texas and playing them. This is you've got your home field, you got your entire fan base. Hey, they're selling alcohol at this football game for the first time in Clemson football history. They're opening that door up as well.
So what now?
Yeah,
they do what?
They're going to be selling alcohol this game.
Really?
Yeah, they're starting that this year.
Huh.
Recently announced.
It's interesting.
So, I mean, if you did that in front of your home fan base week 1, I mean,
that is Dabo just being like, yeah, I mean, we have to make all the money we can. I feel like that would have been in the last school. What are they going to have? In-house gambling next at these schools?
Miami would be the one to do it.
It's getting crazy. We got South Carolina putting Caterpillar on the damn field. Mm-hmm. We got Tennessee despite their entire fan base telling them, don't you dare do this, going to Adidas. We'll talk about that tonight.
With a big Pilot logo.
With a big Pilot logo on the field. And then we got this nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, is what it is. What if Texas Tech wins the Big 12 this year? What if they're actually good? What if the $18 million that they spent this offseason actually pays off? They have all the momentum in the world. They got a playoff spot. Like, what happens at that point?
If Texas wins the Big 12 this year, they're going to take the 18 million. Excuse me. If Texas Tech wins Big 12 this year, they're going to take that $18 million they invested this year and turn it into 36 next year.
I was about to say, they're just
and that
up
team
the ante
they're just going to try to buy a national.
So if you're worth $4 billion, which is what Cody Campbell sold his business for, how many times over do you think you could spend $16-20 million a year and it never really impact you?
Oh, I mean that's mathematically probably 100, as many times as you want.
Put it this way: you could give $10 million annually for 90 years and only lose a quarter of your net value.
It's crazy.
How about that?
Crazy.
That's how rich that dude is. So if whatever y'all think's fitting to happen with if they lose, they ain't gonna go out and spend it again. No, that dude's spending that money. I mean, he struck oil. Mm-hmm. He basically hit the lottery. Now, I don't mean to make oil folks mad at me again, but y'all remember that discussion?
Just go dig in your backyard.
Just go dig in your backyard. Get hella lucky. That's it. That to me, I watch Landman. Okay, I got folks in mechanical engineering backgrounds. I got family members that are in the oil fields. That's about it. It's luck. And did you show up with the original resources? Cody Campbell, horseshoe up his butt. Hopefully the football team will get some of that.
Hunter, would you get bored spending money on Georgia football?
No.
Like them winning national titles, would that ever get boring to you?
No.
I don't think so, dude.
My favorite interaction this offseason was a Texas Tech fan being like, why y'all always demeaning our oil billionaire? Don't you know we have a software billionaire as well? I'm like, I don't think anyone was making fun of the billionaire for how he got his billions.
No.
Woe is me, the billionaire.
You got any more, Christian?
Yeah, I got a few. What if Cam Scatterbo was truly the driving force behind the success behind Arizona State's offense?
Very plausible. I mean, I said that there could be a potential. There could be a world where Arizona State is the Florida State of last year. That's not to say that Arizona State is only going to win 3 football games this year. I don't mean it that dramatically, but in the sense of this is a top 15 ranked team heading into this season. A lot of people are still high on them to win the Big 12 this year. I think there is a world where maybe like in this scenario where if Cam Scatterbo was indeed that important to them and their success, where they finish the year unranked.
Mm-hmm.
My Amish king.
We were talking about that pre-show.
Where did this come from?
Where did that come from?
It must have been a football brain thing.
You just decided Amish.
No, I think
Scatterbo sounds Amish.
Honestly, I think I was watching their week 2 game against Texas State, and I think the announcer might have slipped up and said it.
Oh.
Or something. I don't know. It got implanted in my brainstem and it never left.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What if Kentucky is a bottom feeder again this year? Is it time to tell Mark Stoops to kick it, or?
I mean, didn't they extend him till 2030 as well? I'm sorry. I'm not giving Mark Stoops $40 million to walk away from my program when we're a 6-6 football program.
Especially after we just spent all that
I'm not
money.
giving you $40 million because you were 4-8 when I think we should be 6-6.
And again, especially when you've publicly told everybody that your main priority is basketball, like you're giving over 50% of your NIL or like all of your revenue to basketball, that it's already a tough job, I would imagine, to hire somebody to go coach football at Kentucky. Right now you have a guy, Mark Stoops, who obviously somewhat enjoys it. Like he's proud to coach football at Kentucky. Trying to fill that job with a guy that's brought some success to that football program, despite what could happen this year, what happened last year, kind of like the track that they're on this year.
Yeah,
I think he's just a guy that you keep around until I don't know, either he's ready to hang it up or it's just undeniable. He's not getting this thing back off the ground.
Yeah, I think Mark Stoops will retire before you fire him. But
what if Auburn beats Baylor and Alabama, but goes 6-6?
There's a beating Alabama
signature win.
Would have a signature win.
Beating Alabama is enough of a hope builder for any program for that, especially then. If Auburn's 6-6, they're 5-6 when they play Alabama. That means 5-6 Auburn's beating whatever top 10 Alabama.
Yeah,
that is a plenty good upset. That
could keep them out of the playoff.
Yeah, that's a signature win for Hugh Freeze. I think he'll be fine. Now, Does he make it to the Alabama game is the real question, because if you're 5-6 going into that matchup, that's the problem.
So he's gone 6-7 and 5-7. Okay, so he's won 11 games during his time at Auburn. Let's rattle off these football teams he's beaten. UMass, Cal, Samford, 4 straight losses to SEC football teams. Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Oh, that's right. Took an L to New Mexico State and Maryland in that season. All right, 2024. So last year, we got a win over Alabama A&M. Took an L to Cal. Oof.
Fernando
We beat
Mendoza.
New Mexico. Hell yeah. We beat New Mexico. 4 straight losses. We beat Kentucky. Okay. Hell yeah. Get a win over ULM Monroe. And then get a win by 2 points over Texas A&M. We have beaten one ranked SEC opponent
There's the
in 2
signature.
straight years.
So there's
at
his
Auburn.
signature win, his overtime win against Texas A&M.
Correct.
To keep them out of the SEC
Correct.
championship.
There's
there
the
it is.
signature win. You beat A&M at home.
Yeah, but again,
Is it that much of
not
a
gonna-
signature win though that we forget about it?
that's not going to cut it, brother. You need to get one of these teams.
I mean, he's getting some recruiting momentum on the trail, which means he suckered somebody into giving him some more money. So I think he's going to be all right. And we've talked about it. You can't fire that guy.
No, yeah.
Not until he plays with Deuce Knight, I don't think.
Yeah.
We can't be setting free-for-alls on our really talented roster, which say what you want about Auburn. That 2024 and 2025 recruiting classes, they got talented football players on that roster, and I wouldn't want them hitting the free market.
You go last, or I'll go last. So whatever you got,
All right.
then I'll go last.
What if Ohio
Sounds like you're
State...
setting up a transition there, big dog.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Or
Well,
mine's
I've
just
got-
really good.
I've got a potential transition set up too, so maybe I want to go last.
All right, so hold on. I mean, I hate to do this. People asking about Deloitte. I ain't got nothing on Deloitte. Here's what I have been told about A&M or Texas Tech, because that's what everyone's asking about. There is nothing stopping the billionaire from washing his money for pay for play. There's nothing. If you don't think Cody Campbell is a minority owner in 100 different businesses, whether it be in the state of Texas or nationally, like I'm pretty sure he's got a large stake in Holiday Inn as well. Like this dude's got money everywhere. When you have $4 billion, you can buy your way into the seat of any company in America. Okay? So that's all he's got to do. All he's got to do is go say, hey, Holiday Inn, we got a defensive tackle that needs 100 racks to be on the billboard in Lubbock. All right, that's fine. Pass it through Deloitte. He's got all these connections. That's the answer I've gotten. Because I've asked the same thing. How's this dude able to do this? Why is Oil Rich Man able to do? Well, Oil Rich Man ain't just got cash in his bank account. Oil Rich Man's got all kinds of different business assets that he can funnel this money through.
Man, who would have thought that people with money would be able to exploit rules within a system?
Man, who would
That
have
surely
thought?
doesn't happen in the regular country today.
Who would have thought that NIL would have been a direct correlation to high net worth individuals, and all you had to do is track those people and you'd figure out who'd be good at this recruiting thing? Oh, wait. This channel told you that in 2021 when I was sitting in a garage in front of a Nolan Ryan signature. Been a while. But we dropped that take immediately. I had a whole 30-minute segment where I went down and said, oh, look, here. USC's got 100 former graduates that are worth north of $50 million. Oh, crap. The CEO of Dell went to Michigan? Oh, my God. Texas has got 3 billionaire families? Duh. You know, it was pretty obvious when this all came out.
All right, I'll let you go last, Kirby, so I'll go ahead and give you mine. What if Texas goes 10-2 this year with losses to Oklahoma and Georgia?
I think you're still a playoff team.
Still a playoff team.
I think that it's just one of those things of, hey, you had to travel to a very hostile Athens environment, and Oklahoma is it's a rivalry game that anything could happen anytime. We've seen unranked teams beat ranked teams in that matchup numerous times, so I don't think people are going to look at Steve Sarkisian.
I think that's a little too rational of a take off of that, in my opinion. I think that's just a tad, because these are college football
But here's
fans.
the thing, though. You said 10-2, right?
Yeah.
So they beat Ohio State week 1.
Yeah.
So,
But that's week 1. We're talking about at the end of the year, you've suffered losses to Oklahoma, and then you suffer a third loss to Georgia. I feel like that's due for some type of overreaction.
yeah, I think so. This might give another overreaction. What if Arch Manning only throws for 3,000 yards this year?
It's not going to happen.
What? That's the whole point of this segment. Is
What if he got hurt? He got hurt. If Arch Manning only throws for 3,000 yards this year, he got hurt.
Okay,
Or they've beaten the hell out of everybody to where he's not on the field in the fourth quarter.
Or
What
CJ
if-
Baxter is him.
what if Arch Manning starts every game this season and he only throws for 3,000
Then
yards?
he's a fraud. And he sucks. And Paul Feinbaum ought to retire. But it ain't happening, Kirby.
Okay.
So there's that.
I think at the last turn he forgot the point of the segment.
My
Is to
bad.
name hypothetical things.
My bad.
And address what if they did
I'm
happen.
telling you,
for
if
God's
that
sake.
were to happen, all of what I said is true. If Arch Manning plays every single game into the fourth quarter, has 25, 30 plus attempts every single game, and only throws for 3,000 yards, he's not good enough.
I love how
If that's the truth. But I don't think it's happening.
I started this segment with what if Thomas Castellanos works out, and that's the one that gets the biggest reaction.
You know what? Honestly, it's not. And I know what you're doing. I know you're not doing what I'm about to accuse you of doing. But if anyone on this table and on this stage is rooting for Arch Manning's downfall because of all the unjust hype that he's gotten, it's you.
Oh, I don't care.
I know you don't care. But 99.9% of college football fans who don't root for Texas want this dude to fail, because I think he has been set up for failure. I think he has been set up for the entire world to dislike him, because all we've been told is, I swear to God, every time I look up, we got a new way to say some way or version of this guy's God's gift to football. The one I saw today from ESPN is tragic to me. It's almost as if Joe Burrow didn't exist, as if Cam Newton didn't exist, as if we haven't watched the last decade of college football, 2 decades of college football. Guys, Joe Burrow threw for almost 6 racks on the way to winning a national title and a Heisman Trophy. Okay? So to say this, you are only, what I'm about to read to you, you are only setting this dude up for everybody else to say, I'm so sick and tired of listening to Arch Manning hype. I hope the guy sucks. Here's the quote today. I know he's going to be the most dynamic QB we've seen in a generation. Guys, let him play. I think he's going to be great. I just told you. I just told you. I think he's going to be really good. But can we shut the up about this stuff, man? For the love of God, you're just setting everybody up to hate him. Please stop.
It's just funny because, Arch Manning doesn't have to be Joe Burrow. Arch Manning doesn't have to be Cam Newton. Arch Manning doesn't have to be Johnny Manziel. Arch Manning doesn't have to be RG3, Lamar Jackson, whoever. He doesn't have to be any of that. Arch Manning can walk out the door tomorrow, throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and he's done it. He's been the great quarterback that everybody wanted him to be. That would be the benchmark. He'd be fine.
Have we ever seen anything like this?
No. I told you.
Have we ever seen anything like this?
No. And
The dude, he's played decent football. He's played I think really good football. But he's played 2 games. Mm-hmm. And we're out here talking about we don't even know what Joe Burrow was 5 years ago. It wasn't 35 years ago. It wasn't a generation ago.
Look, I sat here probably about a month ago and said this was going to happen. I said there's going to be some point in the season leading up to it or during it where we get Arch Manning fatigue, because everyone wants to try to tell you how amazing he is, how great he is, how he is the best thing to happen in college football, to the point where it will be to his demise, to where people around who aren't invested in him either way will begin to hate him.
Do you know how many people are going to hate watch that Ohio State game? Now, I don't know who they're going to hate watch more.
That's
I feel
like the
like national
hate.
media hates, or national non-Ohio State fans hate Ohio State.
That's one of those games where the nation wins and loses at the same time.
Dream scenario for a hate watcher of that game: Arch Manning 10 of 25, but Texas still wins.
No, the dream scenario for a hate watcher in that game is an earthquake happens and both teams get swallowed by the earth.
A little
rooting for
Batman Bane situation.
Yeah, dude.
Right, where it blow up Heinz Field.
Yeah, maybe not terrorist attack.
Yeah, maybe not that.
Maybe just like a blip.
Extreme lightning delay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
like
that.
a thunderstorm hovers for a while.
To where we don't have to hear about how great or amazing either team is.
Just have to cancel it because it rains for 6 days straight in Columbus.
Let's have a COVID outbreak.
Ooh.
Remember those?
Yeah, remember that time Derek Mason was like, nah, I'm good.
Twice?
Sorry, Kirby.
Twice?
Not happening.
We had head football coaches being out here like, I am not going down there with 25 dudes to get waxed. No, thank you, brother. No, thank you, brother. Oh, don't call me a quitter, but I quit.
But no, yeah, you're right. And that's going to be the hard part about it is when people react like that, like you have or I have, it's going to be, oh, this guy hates Arch Manning. This guy preys on his downfall. No, it's not that. It's just you are tired of hearing the complete overreactions and the complete outline. I'm willing to stick my neck out and say, if all those things happen, if everything you've said about Arch Manning becomes true, I'll happily sit there and say, I was wrong. I wasn't on the train.
Like, I honestly, if I had that close of a relationship with Paul, I would get him on here and grill him right quick and just be like, dude, what makes you think this? Why? Because Paul, no offense, I don't think you know ball. Like, we don't come to you for quarterback evals. You know, like why are you so convinced that this dude is about to be God's gift to the position?
Well, I mean,
other than the name,
that's all it is. If Arch Manning was named Arch Simpson, we would be like, this is a really good prospect. I'm excited for Texas this year. It seems like they have the right guy. He's been on the bench for 2 years. It seems like he would have.
Did you see the ESPN video?
Yeah,
I watched it.
He would have, if Arch Manning was not named Arch Manning, he would be getting the same treatment Garrett Nussmeier was getting last year. To where, hey, this is a guy that we've seen in limited action. He looked really good. He's been in the system for a long time. We expect the team around him to be pretty decent. This will be a pretty good team.
And look, the only reason I'm so passionate about this, like, can y'all stop this, is because I'm reading what the chat says, and I agree. Arch has not brought any of this on himself.
No, not at all.
In fact, he's done the opposite. He stood up there at SEC Media Days and was like, will y'all chill out? I got to go play football.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also like he's thus far, he's been a very likable figure. Like, he's not doing Johnny Manziel. He's not doing the Jameis Winston thing. Like, he's not controversial. He's not, one of these people that you either love him or you hate him. It's just he's a good dude so far.
I got a early nominee for Comeback Player of the Year while we're talking about Texas.
Comeback Player of the Year.
He missed all of last year.
Oh, yes. He's a running back.
I compared this football player out of high school to Najee Harris. College Najee Harris, not NFL Najee Harris. Hadn't necessarily worked out at the NFL level, but at its highest rates. I think Najee's been serviceable, but not great. Anyways, it's CJ Baxter. And now, Texas fans might disagree with me here. I know Texas beat reporters disagree with me, and Texas sources disagree with me because I text them about this today. But we on this network watch a lot of film. We probably watched 6 or 7 Texas games in full last year, at an 8th because we watched the Arkansas game at a tailgate together.
We did.
I felt like Texas had a real tough time finishing football games last year in the fourth quarter. When they had a 10, 11, 14-point lead, they had a really tough time icing those football games, running the football down people's throat, milking the clock, kept giving other teams opportunities. I felt like they did this against Arkansas. I felt like they did this against Vandy. Now, Texas fans will tell me, oh, holding calls, whatever. Okay, oh, pick 6 should have been, whatever. Okay, had a tough time finishing the game. I felt like they had a tough time punching it in the box against Ohio State, obviously. Resort to a truck toss on the goal line. I felt like they had a really tough time icing football games last year. Would you agree?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would completely agree. I think that goes into saying, like, they struggled in the red zone last year. Like, there's no secret in that. They struggled turning possessions into touchdowns when they got down into the red zone. And even then, they struggled kicking the ball as well when they're in the red zone. Like, they struggled to put up points in some meaningful moments.
So if we're struggling to run the ball into the box, if we're struggling to ice football games, that tells me we don't have an icer. We don't have a back that can go out and go like pick up 7 tough, dirty yards in the fourth quarter to ice football games. And you watched them last year, and they're trying to Trey Wise or Jaden Blue their way through a football season, and they're trying to figure out ways to, get around not having a bruising back, not having a north and south back. Well, it's because CJ Baxter LCL'd last year and spent the whole year rehabbing. If he is 90% of the version of himself as he was as a freshman, they've got, honestly, the best answer in terms of the answer of the icer. If you have a 10-point lead at Texas this year, I think you win the football game if this guy is healthy. And the reason I believe this, and you're going to see it on the network, I studied that Ohio State game or Iowa State game when he was a true freshman. Their fourth quarter game plan was this right here, boys. That dude back there is a true freshman. He's 6'1", 227 pounds. We are up 10 points, and you do not want to tackle him. So I'm just going to give him the rock 7 times in a row right now on this fourth quarter drive, and we're going to ice this football game. They could not do that last year. This guy's if he's anything like he was supposed to be, they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. To provide some statistical context to your belief, Texas was outscored in all the second halves of their playoff games. And the only reason they did not get outscored by Georgia in the SEC championship was because Georgia scored a walk-off touchdown where there was no extra point.
In overtime.
So there was no extra point. So Texas would have been outscored or not overscored against all their opponents in the second half of the postseason. So you're absolutely right. They could not finish last year.
And I think it's like, I know Texas ran the ball well last year with the 2 backs that they had, but like considering what your quarterback situation was last year with Quinn Ewers, you still managed to be a game away from a national title. It was in those big games that you struggled to run the football, like averaging 2 yards per carry against Georgia. That was kind of like the Achilles heel of you not winning that football game, because you were turned into a one-dimensional football team there. You were turned into a one-dimensional football team against Ohio State as well.
Yeah, and field goals did not help your case at all last year. There were some very inopportune misses back then, but I agree. Like the inability to seemingly close out teams or to put the vice grip or to put away teams was very apparent with Texas last year. We talked about it. It wasn't even the postseason. The Arkansas game was like that. The Vanderbilt game was like that. To some degree, the Florida game was like that. I think they stormed out to a 28-0 lead, and I think Florida came back for a while. They ended up winning that game like 49-17 or something, but there was a real period between where it was like, wow, Texas is falling apart right now. So
I'm interested to see what he looks like. I think he was my number 1 rated back coming out of high school with that class with Reuben Owens, Justice Haynes, my man, the Richard Young kid that ended up going to Alabama too. Like, that was a loaded class, and I felt like he was the best. If you go watch, he's got spring tape from high school where he's out there in practice and it's all 22. That is, oh my God. And the other thing is, like, I don't think people realize how big this human is. He's a good 6'1.5". He looks almost 6'2" in the backfield when he's toting it. I'm excited to see what it looks like, and hopefully he gets healthy. All sources indicating that he is getting back to somewhat of that 100% strength. News today: Tennessee signed with Adidas, or will be signing with Adidas in 2026. Now, I found it really, really interesting that none of the details were released about this until all of the Tennessee sources just couldn't help themselves but to brag about the deal that they just signed. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a big one. I think this is huge, okay? Because I don't know what Tennessee's Nike deal was in comparison to a school like Georgia's or a school like Alabama's. But I can tell you right now, the Nike deal that Oregon has, probably a little bit different than the other schools. Would we agree?
I would say so.
Okay, well, Adidas just tried to make, or is going to make, Tennessee the Adidas version of what Oregon's got going on. I'm going to read you some numbers that I had sent to me today. I think these were tweeted out, but they got sent to me, screenshotted without the person's Twitter account. So I apologize if this person wants to claim. Oh, no, I got it. David Ferris tweeted these out right here. Okay, Adidas has documented large-scale NIL network announced in 2022 that is open to athletes, 100 plus D1 partners, stated with 50,000 plus student athletes that are real structured. Basically, they're going to pay athletes with this money too, not just give it to the school. Here's the big news, all right? Over 11 years, Nike was set to pay Tennessee somewhere roughly in between $50 and $60 million, an annual value of about $4.5 to $5.5 million a year. Well, Adidas fitting to give them $20 million a year.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they 4X'd it, folks. They 4X'd the Nike deal. So much so that Danny White, the athletic director of Tennessee, today in comments said, oh, they didn't even counter. They had no ability to even try to counter. It was that crazy of a deal. And I'm going to continue on with this. Like I said, over $150 million more in annual value over the length of the 10-year deal. Not to mention, they're going to give them an extra $9 million a year in cash for NIL and base bonuses. I don't even know how that's possible, but apparently they're doing that as well. Not to mention, Nike gave them $4.5 million worth of merchandise and gear every year. Apparently Adidas is going to give them $8 million. Okay, so now, this is all fine and dandy for Tennessee. This is all good for any football program who needs to balance their budgets in a day and age where we're going into a salary cap and you're about to have to give a portion of the rev share. We believe all that good stuff. Good news for Tennessee. However, their fan base hates this. Their fan base is pitchforking, dude.
Why?
Because they hate Adidas. They love Nike.
You had Adidas like 10 years ago.
But Kirby, Adidas didn't get the Tennessee orange correct. Swear to God, I'm not playing with you. Go read the comments.
I saw the reactions on social media.
They hate it.
I don't get that.
I saw a Tennessee fan compare it to taking oil or Saudi Arabia oil money. This is how bad this is.
No.
They hate this.
Why?
But money.
I did see where Tennessee fans were hopeful that they'll change the number font back to what it was.
The big, thick blocks. Everyone loves the thick blocks.
Yeah, Nike's font does tend to get a bit funky sometimes.
I just don't know, like, do they think they're going to get return on investment in this, or is this just
That's what I was going to ask.
It doesn't matter. Some of these Fortune 500 companies make decisions sometimes not even based off profit. There's just like, we need to make a splash. You know what I mean? They're very clearly doing this in the NIL landscape in high school football. I love Tyler Atkinson to death. I guarantee you he's not making Adidas in return on investment, whatever they're paying him right now. Ain't nobody out here buying Adidas cleats because Tyler Atkinson's doing Adidas videos. I don't think so. Do you?
Nah, probably not.
I mean, how many people bought Under Armour cleats because Tom Brady was doing commercials? Nobody.
I will say
that's why they stopped paying them.
I will say the Cam Newton cleats went platinum when they came.
The Cam Newton cleats did go platinum.
The only shoes that people buy because said athlete wears them is basketball, in my opinion.
That's it.
That's and that's because of Jordan. Like Jordan put was a trailblazer for that of, this is my shoe, you wear these because I wear them. Now, I just don't think you get that in the football world.
I guess my interesting talking point is, how far would you go? How far would you go as a fan for money? For this type of balancing, like, this is going to be a competitive advantage.
Like
if you talk to Tennessee sources, people who are on that staff, people who are within that recruiting building, they are ecstatic today because they just it's a competitive advantage for them. They feel like it is that.
Maybe I'm just one of these naive people. I've never felt like a strong brand loyalty between Nike and Adidas and Under Armour. If I like it, I like it. I buy it. I wouldn't. If Georgia switched to Under Armour, if Georgia switched to Adidas,
champion,
or if Georgia switched to Reebok because they got the best deal, I wouldn't necessarily care.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to go play for a team who's got Reef as their primary sponsor. You flip-flop wearing SOB. What you got for me?
Crazy
on
shot.
This topic?
I mean,
I think both of you have flip-flops on, by the way, today.
Yeah,
I do.
So yeah,
proudly.
Reef, I mean, if you want to sponsor these two jamokes, go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to give
their bills,
if you want to give me money, Reef, yeah, please go ahead.
Dude, if we could get like a Columbia sponsor, like something like that, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, just keep putting it out in the ether. Hey, we're open for business, by the way. Unless you're a gambling company, that is spoken for. We got news coming up on that next.
Some type of a tire company, that'd be pretty sick.
A tire company, some type of clothing, apparel would be the word for that. When you say a tire company, it sounds like you talk about a tire company.
Apparel, a tire.
Free tires, dude?
I'd take free tires.
Oh, free tires would be amazing too.
We got free tires 2 springs ago on the truck.
I remember this
for the spring tour.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to the Massey company, Massey Tires out there in Douglas County.
But I mean, this isn't the first. Like, this is the first school that Adidas has gone this far into, buying all in for. But like, Texas Tech switched to Adidas recently. Texas A&M also recently switched to Adidas as well.
Not recently. That was all the way back in Johnny's time.
Well, they had a period of time where they were with Nike, I believe, and then they went back to Adidas. I think both of these deals were after 2020.
They were Adidas during Johnny's time.
Yes, they were Adidas during that time.
But they were back to, I think they were Nike during the Kellen Mond era.
So Adidas must have lost a bunch of these contracts from 15 to the 2025.
I think so. I think that's what happened because it felt like from that 2000. I think
maybe they've just been banding up.
I guess so. I think. And I don't know enough about this, but I think Adidas really went hard into the soccer realm. And kind of stop paying. Now, soccer is a global brand, and it obviously has been paying them very well. But I think they want to get back into the college football ranks. Chat's
asking about a Zen brand. I got nootropics in today, okay? But we got news on that front, too. We might be selling the Zen Toss. It's not going to be a Zen Toss. Maybe not.
They missed their opportunity.
Maybe they need to get competitive.
Damn, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to holler at your boy. Zen, if you're watching. I think that's the only company in America that does no marketing.
Zen?
Have you seen a single Zen commercial?
No, the people do it for them.
I know. They just...
Yeah, honestly.
I don't think they need marketing. So they don't...
We've been doing it for them.
I see a meme about Zen once a day.
Yeah.
Not even Zen.
Jeremy Zen.
Oh, there's plenty of them, dude.
Where are we at? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
We
What's left?
just finished talking about Tennessee's uniform change, and I believe with the last 14 minutes of the National Hour, we're going to turn it over to Jay Will because he wants to talk about
after this, and then we can actually talk about meaningful stuff like the Heisman.
No, look,
y'all are so disrespectful.
The group of 5 is meaningful. I appreciate it. I just don't think that it's.
I appreciate the hell out of this bit as I sit here, the man who spent a lot of time this spring with mid-major companies or mid-major football programs and loves everything about mid-major football. I love leaning into this bit. So, Jonathan, please bore me for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, I will. Go ahead. Make all the jokes you want, but I do want to preface this by saying, one, I am a man of my word, and when I said last night that I was going to bring you a G5 preview, I meant that, and I didn't spend all day doing it like you thought I would to take off riding or anything like that, but I did put a lot of effort into this. I did put research into this, and I put my time into this. But I do want to preface it by saying this. I get it, guys. I understand that we sit here and we know for a fact that these teams are not capable of winning a national title. These teams are probably not capable of winning a single playoff game this year, but these are the dirty work teams. These are the teams that give you life on a Tuesday in the middle of the week when you hit the hiatus where you're just waiting for Saturday, you get some action on a Tuesday. They bridge everything in between. That's what these teams provide you for, and these teams are the ones that carry the torch into the weekend. They get the weekend started. When you need a little parlay action on a Wednesday, Maction is always there for you, no doubt, never misses for you. So with that said, let's go ahead. I'm going to give you 5 teams to look out for this year. 5 teams that I would be putting a little bit of stock into, letting you know, like, hey, these teams I think are going to be competitive. These are the teams that I think are going to be up for potential playoff spots this year. And I will go and let you know, Toledo is not one of these. So I didn't just come in here with a layup. I didn't skimp you guys on any information I'm holding out on you. So Toledo, you guys already know about that one. That is my prediction as a team that is going to be the playoff representative for the G5. But let's get into the list. The first one, I've kind of talked about this team already. We got the Buffalo Bulls. This team went 9-4 in Pete Limbo's first season as a head coach last year. And as I mentioned earlier this week, the running back is the headliner of this group. His name is Al J. Henderson. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year and averaged 5.3 yards per carry and had 9 touchdowns. This team brings back their leading receiver, Victor Snow, a speedy slot guy. He's about 5'11", 180 pounds, so he's nothing forcible. But yeah, Victor Snow averaged 11.8 yards per reception last year. Very explosive playmaker for them. He's going to take the top off of a defense. Big question for them this year is about the quarterback, Taquan Roberson. Played at Kansas State last season, but didn't actually play because we know that Avery Johnson was a starter. This year he is going to start for them, but he did start at UConn in 2023. Stats were 2,075 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 120 rushing yards on that. I don't know.
Sounds like we spot started that season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I don't know how much the offensive line affected our rushing yards. I don't know if we took a bunch of sacks, and that really hindered our rushing yards as a quarterback, but has the ability to be a little mobile for you if you need him to. Defensively, their top playmaker from last season returns, but a bunch of old heads on that roster as well. This is a veteran football team. The biggest name to know, though, you want to talk about names on a G5 roster? How about Red Murdoch as a middle linebacker? Listen to this. 156 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and a sack last season. This dude is everywhere. He's the biggest playmaker for this defense. I like the Buffalo Bulls, and the schedule's favorable for him, all right? The big out-of-conference game for them this year is Minnesota in week 1. Think there's an ability there that we can make something happen. Not putting the Golden Gophers necessarily on upset alert, but I am saying keep an eye on the Bulls this year.
Dude, we need to go one way or the other. You either need to speed up for bits purposes or slow down. Man, you are firing it off right now.
Okay.
It's impressive, J-Lo.
I'm surprised your head hadn't popped off. You're not even red-faced right now.
No. This is what I do.
Did you hear an inhale 1?
No, dude.
I didn't either.
This is impressive.
Slow it down. Play it back later if you need to, all right? But I had a tight window here. They gave me 15 minutes.
Speed.
I could have given you 30. They gave me 15, all right? So I got to get the takes in.
If you listen to this podcast on 2-speed, oh my God, your head just exploded. Keep going.
Number 2. This is a little bit of a different one, and you can call me a homer because I know that I've talked about this team quite a bit, but I'm really intrigued about this team. This is more so just throwing it out there for you, put it on your radar, keep an eye on them, not necessarily putting them in the playoff conversation, but Bowling Green hired Eddie George as their head coach this year, and my sources up there indicate that he is not only fit for the job, but he is very excited about this job. This is a guy that is proud to be at Bowling Green, proud to be the head coach there. By no means am I saying this guy guy is going to be there for the next 10 to 15 years, but I am telling you that he is there for the right reasons.
Paw J. Will plugged in at Bowling Green.
Oh, yeah. He was there for the inaugural press conference. He gave me all the scoop.
We got Bowling Green nugs on this joint.
Best part about this football team is there's a name at quarterback that everybody is familiar with, Drew Pine. He's a guy that played at Notre Dame, also played at Arizona State, played at Missouri most recently. So this guy has experience. He's been around some really good football. So I think that his mind is going to be in the right headspace to be the starting quarterback for this football team. Running back, they lost a big-time starter in Terran Stewart, who's now at Virginia Tech, but they're rolling in another guy that I'm pretty excited about. His name's Chris McMillan. He played community college ball in Mississippi, but from Peach County in the state of Georgia.
Oh.
Played running back there, so now he's going to be playing running back for them as well. I think
Peach County to JUCO football to now where?
Bowling Green.
That's out the mud. Mm-hmm. That's out the mud. He tough.
That's what I'm saying. I'm really excited about him this year to be their running back.
For sure.
But I think the biggest loss for them from last season would have to be Harold Fannin Jr. He was a star tight end, one of the best tight ends in college football last year. Trying to replace him, trying to replace that the playmaking that he had for them last year. That's going to be their toughest uphill battle. But they did bring in Alan Middleton from Southern Illinois to try and help out with that. I am questioning the wide receiver core a little bit, though. Not a whole lot of experience there, so we'll have to see how the quarterback play and the wide receiver room matches up there. But I do love most about them is that they'll play anybody. This isn't a team that's trying to skimp out on the schedule. They got Cincinnati, Louisville, and Liberty on the schedule. These boys will be battle tested. I think you're going to get a really good first year from Eddie George up there. Number 3, this is a team that I think most of you are probably familiar with at this point. This team has gotten a lot of love from the media as a G5 representative. It is Memphis. Memphis. This program is coming off of back-to-back 10 or more win seasons under Ryan Silverfield. They have also won 3 straight bowl games as well. So this team is kind of building up into this moment of potentially being in the college football playoff. For their quarterback, Brendan Lewis has already been named the starting quarterback. That is official. He is going to be the starting guy for them out there. He played at Nevada last year where he threw for 2,290 yards, 16 touchdowns. Also rushed for 775 yards on top of that.
Dual threat.
Oh, pure dual threat guy. So I think that brings some pizzazz, if you will, into this offense. In the run game, it's Frank Peasant, but don't let the name isn't any indication of this guy's play right here, all right? Yeah, potentially, but the play, I would say otherwise. This is a guy that spent 4 years at Middle Tennessee State, all right? He showed a lot of loyalty there, but this year he's transferring into Memphis. He dealt with an injury last year, so he's coming off of that, but 5'10", 215 pounds. That's a tough dude to bring down right there. At receiver, it's nothing but transfers. C.J. Smith, former Georgia Bulldog, former Purdue Boilermaker. He's going to be out there. Maybe he can put together a healthy season for them this year. But what I love most is that Memphis also brought in Brendan Lewis's top target from Nevada last year, Cortez Braham Jr., who had over 700 yards receiving last year and 4 touchdowns as well. And schedule-wise, it couldn't be any better. Your lone Power 4 opponent this year is Arkansas. And then outside of that, but I will say this, at the end of the year, they got Navy. I don't like that as the end of the year matchup right now. So there's that. The 4th team, another one that's kind of gotten a lot of love from the media, but UNLV. Obviously, they got Dan Mullen as a head coach there. The only thing I don't like about UNLV is I don't know how much I'm buying into Alex Orji just solving all of his problems out there at UNLV. But at the very least, your running game is going to be really solid. And I think that. But what I love most about this team is this team was made for me. All right, I'm just going to rattle off some names on this roster for you. So we got Alex Orji. We got Chief Borders. Denver Harris, LaTerrence Welch.
Chief Borders is at UNLV.
Yeah.
Chief Borders is a name?
Chief Borders.
Bro, Chief Borders was a highly touted 4-star recruit that went into Florida, then flamed out at Nebraska, and now he's at UNLV. And had he just, this is a 6'5", 240-pounder. What's he playing? Has he finally figured out he's an edge rusher yet?
I honestly don't know.
Because I told him when he was 17 years old, buddy, you need to stop thinking you're a off-ball linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, buddy. No, you're an edge rusher. You're 6'5", 260. You put your hand in the ground and rush and get home. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, Chief Borders, Denver Harris, LaTerrence Welch, JoJo Earls, who played at Alabama as a wide receiver, trying to make something happen now. Varquise Gums, and that's just in the starting lineup. I didn't even get it.
Gums?
Varquise Gums.
Varquise.
Varkey's Gums. That's just a starting lineup, by the way. I didn't even dig into the 2 deep for more names. So again, run game wise, I think they're going to be really solid. Jaden Thomas at running back, a returning starter for them, who put up over 900 yards rushing last season and 7 touchdowns. And then also, I know the Mike IDs are going to be really solid out there at UNLV because Reed Williams is starting center. Shout out to my boy. Hope you're doing well. Name to know on defense.
What was that? Who is Reed Williams? Why are you giving
I played baseball with him growing up and basketball growing up.
Shout out Reed Williams. Is he a friend of the show? Does he listen?
I don't know.
He better now.
Haven't really stayed in touch with him, but
okay.
Hope you're doing well, Reed. Name to know on defense, Marcel McDuffie, a returning starter at middle linebacker, 46 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. I expect those numbers to go up. Why, you might ask? Because Zach Arnett is the defensive coordinator out there at UNLV. So I think you got names to know on the coaching staff. So I think there's enough there to kind of make you believe that UNLV could also be a potential playoff representative.
Speaking of random defensive coordinators, $5 to anybody who could tell me where Alex Grinch is the defensive
We literally talked about
We actually talked about this yesterday. We know where. So
you know where?
UCF, can I have $5?
Yeah, you can have $5.
Let's go,
I'll add it
dude.
to your monthly check.
All right, final team.
Alex Grinch still getting paid $800,000 to coach defense.
Man.
Keep dreaming, America. It's possible.
It's possible.
You know what I mean?
Man.
All right, my final team for my G5 preview, the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. I honestly think there's a world or an alternate universe where I would be a Raging Cajun fan. I think that world exists. I think the mascot is probably the best in college football, in my opinion. I love their mascot. Again, starting quarterback, Walker Howard. Name probably sounds familiar for you, and it should. Played at LSU, played at Ole Miss. Now finally getting a chance to be the starting quarterback at a college football program.
Hold on. What is this mascot?
Raging Cajuns,
The blood
baby.
drop thing? No, that's Western Kentucky.
What is this? Wait, what is that?
The Raging Cajun, baby.
Hold on.
He's got a carrot on his head. Why has he got a carrot on his head?
Is it a pepper?
Why is his hair?
Yeah, it's got to be a pepper,
I think it's a
right?
pepper.
Is it a pepper?
I think it's a pepper.
Okay.
Because, Cajun food is spicy.
Okay. All right. Well,
All right. Zylan Perry is the returning running back for them. We got a lot of burn last season behind the starter on top of that. This guy wasn't even the starter for them, but 695 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Not really sure what to expect from the weapons department, though. They lost a lot there and only brought in one transfer by the name of Shelton Sampson, who didn't record any stats at LSU. Oof. Sounds like things were off to the right start for him at spring camp at LSU, but it just really never worked out for him. So now here he is at Louisiana Lafayette. But he has a massive frame. I mean, he's 6'4", 195 pounds. I think that'll play for them if he can get things going for them. Defensively, they don't return a lot, but they also didn't add very many players in the portal. So I don't know if I should question that or if this staff really just is buying into what they still have on the roster. I mean, I think in total they brought in maybe 5 transfers. And for a G5 team, that's a little peculiar if you ask me. So maybe they just really love what they still had on the roster from last year and just added in the pieces that they felt like they needed to. As for the schedule, Missouri is the lone Power 4 team. It certainly has the opportunity to make some things happen this year if you ask me. So there you go. 5 G5 teams, excluding my boys at Toledo. Those are my top kings right there. But other 5 teams that I think you should know about for the G5 heading into this year's college football playoff and college football season.
Jay,
well done, sir.
That was very impressive.
Well done, sir.
Very well done.
I was impressed, man. Brought a lot of juice. That was needed. You can move that camera back down now. We could talk about Heisman odds. I had something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I tweeted out today, who is the best offensive coordinator in college football? Who do you think the most popular response was?
I'm going to guess who Georgia fans follow you the most, but they wouldn't say their coordinator. So
did see some of that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to see that.
Did see some of that.
Which college football team follows you the second most then?
Alabama fans, for sure.
Then Alabama fans think Ryan Grubb is the best offensive coordinator in college football.
So that was the overall consensus that I got, was that everybody loves their guy except for Georgia fans.
And maybe Buster Faulkner probably getting in there.
And everybody loves Buster. Everybody loves their guy. I saw Ohio State fans humping in with Brian Hartline. I'm like, okay. That's interesting. Some Andy Kotelnicki. Penn State offensive coordinator. I think he's the most creative guy in college football. I don't know who the best coordinator in college football is. I think what I ultimately decided off of this is that nobody knows OCs anymore. I don't think there is a hot name other than Buster. Buster's the only hot named OC that there is in college football right now. Everybody else is either already a head coach or doesn't have a lot of pub about them.
Yeah. I mean,
What's he smirking about?
I was reading about the comments. I wanted to know what people
he was
thought.
He was getting reviews on his.
I was just making sure.
He was patting his own back.
No, well,
reading the press clippings. Hey, don't read that rat poison, Jonathan. We don't need that.
Okay.
That's how you get complacent.
That's how you get complacent. I need you focused on the next rep. That's what I need right now. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Audio is going to go to hell in the local hour. I can already tell. Should we go to the local hour? Let's
Jeez.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog?
What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
First time that's happened.
That you slipped up and called Bobo Boo Boo?
Or just-
you're shocked.
Because you hate him so much?
No, I'm surprised that's the first time that's happened on this show.
I'm surprised that like Georgia fans hadn't already gotten to that one.
Right.
They called him Bozo the Bozo before they went to Boo Boo. Like it's right there in front of you.
Well, Bozo rhymes better.
Yeah, but Boo Boo is funnier.
Boo Boo is
Boo Boo is way funnier.
Boo Boo is funnier.
What was I wanted to read this. We're continuing on the OC discussion. Like, I like Kendall Briles at TCU, but I am not.
It feels kind of weird to say that he's
man. I'm not. I got moral compass, you know.
Yeah.
When we're looking the other way a little bit too much, I ain't gonna mention you in one of these, you know.
Yeah.
How many people don't know about that, do they? They don't remember it.
I think it wasn't scandalous enough for it to be like if you know college football like well enough, you know the Briles
organizationally hiding sexual assault allegations.
Yeah. Like it never reached like Joe Paterno levels of
national media coverage.
Correct.
Just enough to give everyone there pretty much show cause orders.
Pretty much, yeah.
I had sources text me after that decision where the NCAA just kind of wrist slapped everybody. I had sources in college football text me and say that was the final straw in the NCAA's power. They have none. When you see institutional lack of control like what happened at Baylor and you don't do anything about it, then we know you have no power anymore. So that was what, 2019, 2018?
Was it that recent? I thought it was more.
Was it even further back before that?
I thought it was like 2015, 2016. Because it was like the Sean Oakman era.
Either way. We don't have to get bogged down in that. We got a load of local out for you guys tonight. We're going to do our fantasy draft tonight. That'll be interesting. You won last year? I cakewalked last year. I went 6-0 and then 0-7.
Yeah, the Trevor Etienne injury,
the greatest comebacks of all time.
We got some Jared Curtis news tonight. I did a Nate Frazier and general offensive run game film study today that most of you guys have watched by now. We're going to attempt to rank this team on paper versus the other Kirby Smart teams on paper. We're going to watch some film tonight of a potential flip that you need to know of as well. And we're going to go through what we know and what we don't know about some of the opponents. Hey, look, there's fall camps going on at other programs as well. We'll tell you a little bit about what to know from those other camps. Boys, where do you guys want to start tonight?
I think we should dedicate the draft to the
What's
last half of the
PFE?
show.
Hey, by the way, we're a FPE company around here. We're Fire, Passion, Energy, not Passion, Fire, Energy. I think it flows better. I don't know what they're saying.
I think they say Fire, Passion, Energy.
They've said it both ways. I've heard Kirby say it both ways.
Whatever.
It's Fire, Passion, and Energy. It just flows better than Passion, Fire, Energy. So we're an FPE company.
I wonder why that is. Why it rolls off the tongue better. Jared Curtis,
alphabetically, maybe.
I guess. Even though, I don't know.
Fire, Passion, Passion, Fire.
Jared Curtis had some good news for Georgia fans.
You want to start there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared Curtis is going to be at every single home game this year.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Locked in.
Yeah.
I
don't think there was ever a worry among Georgia fans. Like, this wasn't a Dylan Raiola situation where it was kind of like, do we really have this guy? Jared Curtis commit to Georgia, and that was pretty much the end of his recruitment. He will be there. And if this isn't any more indication of it, I don't know what else.
I appreciated the dwindling down of this process, right? Like he went from 4 to 2, and it wasn't like we're a tight 2 and a third team just crept in right before signing day, like, or commitment day. It wasn't none of that nonsense. It was 4 down to 2, down to 1. Stop calling. Don't even try.
Yep. Yeah, there hasn't been any other rumblings of like another team is still pursuing Jared Curtis or anything like that. But I think too, like,
I mean, we're seeing this with Dia Bell right now in Texas. Like Florida State's trying, other schools are trying. This isn't happening to your guy.
I think too, like, what's interesting though is typically when you would hear like, oh, your quarterback commit in a class is going to be at every home game this year, it would be like, oh, this guy gets to recruit some more guys to class. You're done with the class.
You're done.
So like maybe this will just be a great opportunity.
By the way, who was the last recruit to do that? I think that is the most overly used BS line in recruiting history. That if you sign a great quarterback, he's just going to bring dudes with him because everybody wants to play with him.
Dylan Raiola kind of was this last year, even though ironically he ended up not committing and signing with you. But there was a lot of like, yeah, we're getting this recruiting class together, and there was a lot of people tweeting out like, hey, Georgia with eye emoji.
Like Jake Fromm was this to an extent.
Yeah, the Sikkim 17 thing.
The Sikkim 17, like him and Richard LeCount really kind of took that recruiting class themselves and really made it a priority for them to recruit other players.
And by the way, Dylan committed to Nebraska the day KJ Bolden flipped from Florida State to Georgia. So just gonna
at the same school
at the same ceremony. So I don't know if Dylan was attracting a bunch of dudes.
Maybe not.
Perhaps not.
But yeah, I generally agree with you that, especially in today's world where like it's costing you a lot of money to get a guy like one of these high profile quarterbacks. Yeah. When you sign a 5-star quarterback, you just put a lot of your assets into that quarterback to where you don't have as many to go and get other great players.
Like
from a Georgia standpoint, Vandegrift did this.
Oh yeah,
Vandegrift. I honestly like it would have been great to have Caleb Williams in that class. But without Brock Vandegrift, I don't know if you win the second national title that was required with all that talent, right? Like, I don't know if you land Demarius Mims if Brock Vandegrift isn't in Athens. Like, the dude was living in Bogart County and was able to be essentially a staffer during COVID, right? You would have guys, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because I don't know if it was even legal, but you weren't allowed to take visits. Y'all remember that during COVID?
Yep.
And so what they were basically doing was they had Brock basically show kids around campus because there's nothing against the rules of the high school kid that's committed to us hosting or having guys on campus and walking them around. Go back and look at that class he signed with and look at how many impactful football players. Now, I know Brock never impacted a national championship roster, but those other dudes that he brought in that year definitely did.
Yeah, that's probably the last true answer of that, of guys that were actually doing, active recruiting for your team. And again, that was such a weird time in recruiting anyway. So
yeah. And now, like I said, I don't think it exists.
No, I
don't think signing the $3 million quarterback or the $2 million quarterback means, oh, we get a 5-star receiver too. No, that's not necessarily.
No, because recruiting now has become about what coach you're playing for and how much you're going to make when you do it. It's not about who I'm going to play with or where. Like, who you play with changes every year, especially in the transfer portal era. So why would you care about the other 5-star receiver coming with you when there's no guarantee you guys are going to be on the same team? So I get it. I get why that's not a case and you don't see these players going out and trying to recruit.
Chat's blowing me up about Hezekiah Melander. I haven't heard much about Hezekiah. So... And you guys know how it is. Like, we've told you on this network, we only hear the goods of the goods. Like, we hear the greats, all right, from the intel standpoint out of fall camp. They're just trying to hype the people that they're trying to hype up. They ain't going to be out here being like, well, he's not quite ready. They're not going to be out here saying, quote-unquote, negative things or less than 100% positive things about guys, at least the staffers that I talk to. Now, I can tell you what I've seen in practice. Physically, it's just not... He's not on par with the rest of the guys. It's just obvious when you go out there. That's my opinion. Now, I know he had a scramble in G-Day that everybody wanted to talk about, in which he was definitely touched down like 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. So there's that. What?
Just laughing at you.
I mean, wasn't he? You weren't there. You were.
He was.
Dude was touchdown like at the 4-yard line.
It was a 45-yard gain that in real live football was probably a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, 10 yards. Man, might have picked up the sticks.
Yeah, and again, in those situations, there's certain plays where a sack really wouldn't have been a sack in real football, and a 50-yard scramble would have been a hospital trip. So
yeah,
take it with what you will.
What else you got for me? What were we even talking about?
We were talking about Jared Curtis and the recruiting era.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the idea that he's locked in is known. I mean, are guys signing these deals before? Are they just verbally agreeing to them and sign them in December? How does this even work?
I don't know.
I don't know the ins and outs of that.
Some other recruits taking visits still during the season that are some pretty high caliber recruits indicates to me that they aren't signing them. Yeah. Like Derek Cooper saying that he's going to take multiple visits this season indicates to me that no, he has not signed anything, but he's verbally agreed to something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's been promised whatever his income will be at Texas and has agreed to that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. I would agree there.
Speaking of running backs, you did a film study today on Georgia's running
I saw
game.
another one. I want to talk about Andrew Beard because he's going off right now. I saw Jeff Santel tweet about him. We were at the I was at the Prince Avenue and Callaway game just before today's show. The game started at 4:30 out there and watched the first half of that football game.
How does that work in high school?
Yeah, I don't know. How are you playing a Wednesday night game at 4:30? I don't know how. You don't go to school that day.
Do you not have a fourth period?
Oh, no, you don't. I guarantee the Prince Avenue kids were checked out at noon today.
Dude, so...
If not 10 a.m.
I played golf in high school.
Hell yeah.
Whenever you had to leave, that's when you got to leave.
Huh?
Yeah, I told you. I didn't make it up, all right?
That swing made a high school golf team?
Well, that's a swing that deteriorated 4 years after high school after someone decided to steal my clubs in Athens.
That's right.
Neither here nor there. But yeah, you just leave whenever you have to.
No, yeah.
We got chat arguing about Bobo in the chat. We got
good. I mean, it is the football season. Just wait till the games start being played.
You're right.
We know you're at a.
Oh yeah, Beard. I don't even know. I don't have a comp on that. That's a 5'11", 210-pound back that's just solid.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like just getting done watching Le'Veon Moss kind of look like that. For those who don't know, Andrew Beard is the nephew of Garrison Hurst. I think he's going to be the number one running back in 2027 in the class, in the state at least. I don't know what it looks like nationally just yet, but that is a really, really clean, almost, I'm going to say flawless football player.
Has very, very good contact balance from the few clips I've seen.
Yeah, dude. That one I sent you guys.
Yeah.
Not just contact, but the vision too.
Mm-hmm.
The one cut, chat saying he looks shorter than 5'11". I mean, 5'10" and a half.
Probably.
Like he's not a very big football player. That would be the only quote unquote negative about him.
Yeah, but
he's physically he looks a lot like Nate. He doesn't have that Tasmanian devil to him, but a very clean runner.
Mm-hmm.
And got some go-go juice. And I know they're playing Callaway.
Mm-hmm.
I know he plays single A football in his regular season schedule, but a dude can take it. I mean, he had a 50-yard run right before the half when I left. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't finish the game?
I mean, they hit half at almost 5 o'clock.
Jeez.
And it took 2 hours to get back over here.
Dang.
Or excuse me, they hit half at almost 6 o'clock, and it took 2 hours to get over here. So there's that. But I did do a film study today on Georgia's offensive, how it's going to improve in the run game. And what I want to do now is I want to put Jonathan on the spot, and I want to ask his thoughts of that study today. You were in the studio. You watched me lay it down this morning. What did you think about that film study?
Well, I was certainly reminded of just how incohesive that offensive line unit was last year, and just a lot of parts of the run game last year just like weren't working together. Like whether it was like the fact that you had to start Nate Frazier in week 1 and work him throughout the year after getting there in late July or whenever it was last year, whether it was that or the offensive line just not doing their assignments on certain things, like it was just not consistent. Like not nearly like there wasn't a single play during that film study where it looked identical to another. Like, it didn't happen a single time during that film study, even to like Nate's part as well. Like, Nate was doing a lot of different things, and sometimes he wasn't doing the right thing, and other times he was doing the right thing, but someone else wasn't doing the right thing. So I think it shows that there's certainly a lot of promise. Like, I think that what you hit on with like Nate's ceiling, like there's so much room to grow for him that the ceiling is like still immensely high for him. And I think that the offensive line, the amount of room that they have to grow this year, it feels like the run game could be really, really good this year. But it's just a matter of like, are all of these pieces really going to work together like we think they will?
I think for all the criticisms that we've had of that offense last year and all the things that went wrong, one of the things that has flown under the radar, in my opinion, is how do I word this and not sound just brutal, how not up to the standard the blocking was from the wide receiver core, especially in like duo, like that clip of Arian not being able to get out on the edge and block the outside linebacker.
Just not even that. Like, the amount of times last year where I saw blockers just not have their eyes in the right spot. I said it during the film study. I got good to get disgusted at that point. I mean, I think that's my biggest takeaway. When I go back and watch last year's offense, I'm just like, bro, there are so many. Y'all just ain't playing up to your standards. Y'all just not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We got fourth-year seniors, like you mentioned, just not looking in the right spot. What? It's. I've always said it's why I enjoy studying that football team, because they don't do crap like that.
No.
And the whole film last year offensively was that.
No. And I think also Nate Frazier has to be better at being a better +1 back.
Yeah.
He was at times great in that.
We can't be surprised when we get there.
Yeah.
That's what I saw on tape. But we get to the safety for the first time in 12 carries, and we're like, oh my God, we're here. Wham, tackle.
I made it.
I made it. I got here without getting tackled at the 4-yard line, +4. So, yeah, we can't be surprised when we get there. We got to make it happen.
And I think, too, more than anything, like, especially from the film that we've watched, like, despite the fact that we were watching film from a game that was week 11 in the season, or game 11 for Georgia in the season, Nate was still learning things. And like you said, drinking through a fire hose, to the extent of like, he made the wrong cut on one run play, gets shot out on the sidelines, comes back in, and he overcorrects himself.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell that he still wasn't even very comfortable that late in the season.
Like, Buddy put up almost 700 yards last year. And left a whole lot of yards on tape. A whole lot of yards on tape. Yards that I think he gets this year. I think he picks them up. The other thing we noticed about that film study, and I've been talking about it, but it's good to get the visual showing of it, right? Actually putting it on the tape for you guys to see. Them flat-footed defenders, when Gunner gets in the football game, of just how much that changes for the front side of these plays.
Not only flat-footed defenders, how slowly you have to aggressively peel down the line. Like, instead of just being able to dead sprint and go into the mesh point, you have to actually shuffle in case the quarterback tries to carry it. Now, again, I don't think, like we've talked about it numerous times, I don't think Gunner Stockton's going to put up incredible numbers with you. But there were a handful of times, and we even saw it in real time last season, where we said to each other, man, I know that that's probably not a design play, but if Carson Beck keeps that ball, it's a 10-yard gain.
It almost like... Do you think they told him he's not allowed to keep the ball last year?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know.
Automatic gives, no matter what.
I don't know, because...
Did he keep a single one?
Yeah, he did at the end of the Kentucky game. And he hurt his elbow, remember?
And he hurt his elbow.
So that
was week 3, and then they were like, hey, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
By the way, took off running against South Carolina in garbage time back in 2021 and damn near messed his shoulder up in that one, too. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, he got clocked in that football game. But you're right. I mean, there's 400 yards on tape for Carson if he just keeps the ball. It slides down after 8 yards.
And it wasn't like Carson Beck wasn't an athlete, like athletic. Like, there were scrambles he had in the Tennessee game, in the Tech game. Like, he had moments where he used his legs to where it was, okay, he's a competent runner with the football.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember this being like something like people would watch Georgia in the Jake Fromm days and be like, boy, if Jake Fromm would keep one football, he may only get 12 yards, but man, like it's just left wide open. And Carson Beck is a better athlete.
I have it on good authority that in 2019 was his last year starting.
Yeah.
In 2019, they basically told him, you're not allowed.
Oh, and I believe that.
Because we don't have a backup.
Well, and to your point, He had 2 rushing touchdowns in 2017 against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Off of quarterback keepers where it was basically just read option. Oh, no one's guarding the mesh point. I'm going to take off here.
Like, to me, that's modern Peyton Manning naked boot.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. If you're a immobile quarterback who is never viewed as this runner, like, dude, you got to do it once a season. That's it. Like, I'm not asking you to do this every single time, but like, damn, there's so much yardage available for him if he just kept the ball every once in a while. But again, it makes you wonder, was he told not to?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just can't do this.
But I think that, to your point, the diversity in the run game and the just flat out execution in the run game is going to get better. I think that they've put much more of an emphasis on understanding assignments this year, because like looking at last year's roster, and I don't want to do the thing, but Arian Smith, Dominic Lovett, Dylan Bell, London Humphreys, I don't necessarily think that those guys were brought to Georgia to block. Now, I know that is one of the things that you have to do. That is one of the requirements, but they aren't natural blockers. Like, they aren't Kearis Jacksons or Marcus Rosemi-Jack Saints. Like, guys like that to where, yes, they're competent weapons in the passing game, but they're also really, really good blockers. Like, as much as we talk about George Pickens and how little he played, there's some point where George Pickens was at least willing to block and was good when he did so.
I see Chat's getting the Bobo troll about execution. Hey, Chat, he's going to pivot to whose job is it to make sure the players execute in a matter of T-minus 30 seconds. Okay, it's always a pivot. It's the same pivot every single time. Y'all just wait. He might not do it now that I just called this pivot out, but that's the pivot. The pivot is, this guy sucks. We can't do nothing on third down. And then you show him, well, that left tackle didn't make his play. The tight end didn't get to the depth. That's a drop. Yada, yada, yada. We point out all these execution points, and then you immediately pivot to, well, it's the coach's job to make sure the player executes.
Well, I think this is maybe a good time to transition into another topic that we have. You know, we're kind of talking about this year's team. We expect them to be better, or we at least expect them to execute at a higher rate. We expect them to be better in the run game in areas like that. So how would we rank this team on paper compared to other Kirby Smart teams?
So you got to go 2021 and 2022 preseason above these guys, right?
Yes.
Do we feel this way about 2021 Georgia?
About what
Like,
do you mean?
they're gonna be an elite NFL or like championship caliber.
The only question really heading into that season was quarterback, and then it turned into a question of wide receivers because of George Pickens' injury. But people still expected that team to be really good.
This is a good point here from Georgia fan 224 in the
Oh, that's right.
I'm sorry we missed this yesterday. I remember seeing it and thinking, hey, we got to get to this. I think I even told y'all we need to get to this. The question is, if you could pick one player from the Kirby Smart era to fill the gap in this year's team, who would it be?
The answer, and this is a cop-out answer, my answer will always and forever be either Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis. Because having a true zero that constantly requires a double team or someone that causes that much havoc in the interior defensive line, you can never have enough of those guys, by the way. So that's my answer.
It'd go down between Jalen Carter or Brock Bowers for me.
Brock Bowers,
that's what it would boil down to. Because, like, as much as I would love to add a Broderick Jones or an Andrew Thomas, like, as great as those two players would obviously be for this roster, there's just not enough impact there to add that as your one player on the entire team. Whereas, like, Brock Bowers and Jalen Carter would be the most impactful.
I think if you had a Jordan Davis, it'd be like, all right, well, we don't have to worry about run defense.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think people
I mean, we've had a lot of fun players to watch. The amount of attention that Jordan drew the last year at Georgia was insane.
Legendary.
They were doing things schematically that make zero sense, all because they knew these three guys are going to try to block Jordan, which means this Mike linebacker gets to run free wherever he wants to.
They had people, and let me just put this in perspective how great Jordan Davis was. Jordan Davis, I think, had less than 30 tackles in the 2021 season.
Yeah.
They had people talking about if he should go to New York for the Heisman.
Yeah.
That's how good he was that season.
I remember this.
Like, that is how good Jordan Davis was that season. If you
don't think that was a little bit of PR machine?
Of course it was.
Very, very likable. I feel like the Heisman stuff happened as soon as he scored a touchdown and then led the band.
Of course.
Like,
this
guy's
course.
a Heisman winner.
This guy rocks.
This guy's awesome.
Absolutely. But that's how legendary that 21 season was. You had teams going like, do we triple team this guy? Like, that's how good Jordan Davis was in 2021. So, absolutely.
True difference maker, unlike any other.
All right, but I think I ranked this team on paper ahead of 2019, probably ahead of 2020, probably ahead of 2016 and 17.
Definitely.
Just behind 21, 22, and 23.
Yeah, that's where I have them.
It's interesting because
this team on paper or last year's team on paper?
Oh, this team
I would take
on
this
paper.
year's
I would
team.
too.
This team on paper. But that's if they execute.
Yeah.
But on paper, it's a better team. But no, absolutely. I think the interesting part what we run into is the 2019 team versus this year's team.
Yeah.
Because as
2019 gets slept on because they got boat raced by LSU.
2019, that and because
the defense was crazy good that year.
Yeah, well, and the offense
Historically good going into that SEC championship game. They had allowed fewer points per game than any defense in Georgia history dating back to 1979. Going into that LSU matchup, they were allowing 10.6 points per game on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah.
Yep.
And gave up damn near 70, it felt like, against LSU.
Yeah.
And in reality,
I don't know what the score was, but it felt like 100.
it was 34 and a late pick from Derek Stingley flipped the field. So, I mean,
Nah, that joker felt like it felt like LSU could score at will in that football game.
you're absolutely right, but that's like statistically that wasn't the case. But no, going back to that, the 2019 team is very interesting because the offense was so abhorrent, but that defense was so good. I don't know where to put them in comparison to this year's roster because I feel like it's going to be a much more balanced team. I don't think the defense this year is going to be nearly as good as 2019 or 21 for that.
That 2019 offense was so disappointing.
That's what I'm saying. The 2025 offense
Go
is
back and look at that offensive line. You're like, oh my God, what?
I mean, go back and look at everything.
The difference for me...
You had DeAndre... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
I was cutting you off, so go ahead.
You had DeAndre Swift. You had a freshman, Dominic Lovett, that looked like a dude until he blew out his ACL in the SEC championship.
Blaylock.
Dominic Blaylock, excuse me.
No, you're
like,
good.
what?
I had to correct you.
It happens sometimes.
I think football brain's wearing off on you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no.
You know, the older you get, the more
The
signs
worse
of
it
CTE you
gets.
show.
Don't tell me that.
But Dominic Blaylock,
I already got a post-it note my way through the day.
you had a star wide receiver, a budding freshman in Dominic Blaylock, a star wide receiver in George Pickens, two freshmen that were absolutely balling out. You had a pretty decent tight end. You had two running backs in Brian Herring and DeAndre Swift. A third-year junior in Jake Fromm that was supposed to be, and for the most part, was a solid SEC quarterback. Like that, the reason that SEC offense was so bad makes no sense.
SEC staff are hopping in the likes just now on Twitter. You been saint?
I think with that I think the difference is between like the 2019 team and then this year's team is there are multiple games that season where Georgia, like Kirby and the staff, are like, we're just going to hand it to DeAndre Swift 25 times and hope we win this football game.
Kentucky,
and I know that one of those was Kentucky because it was pissing rain. It felt like 10 feet of rain were on the football field that night. But there are other games where it's like, please, number 7, you got to go win this one for us. Like you're all we got this week.
I was I don't even remember where I took my honeymoon. I was on my honeymoon during that Kentucky game.
You don't remember where you took your honeymoon? I thought you were on the honeymoon for the South Carolina game.
No, he's his wedding.
This is the second to last vacation I've taken too. Like, how long have I been married? Going on 7 years.
Damn,
6?
He wasn't kidding about the post-it note his way through a day, huh?
I mean, here's the deal though about my wife. She knows this about me. She knows that I'm scatterbrained. It's perfect for her. We are the yin to the yang. Okay, because my wife is like Miss Calendar. Okay,
that's the ultimate goal for a relationship.
It's also part of your job here on this network.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, a good 5-6 times a day, I tell you, hey, make sure I don't forget such and such.
The amount of times I get a text at like 11 o'clock, it's like, don't let me forget I have such and such tomorrow, and I put it in my reminders. 8 o'clock in the morning.
People are giving you crap for a fall wedding.
Yeah, I don't really care about that. I've made my statement about that.
What is it?
I mean, dude, I married so far up. I married such a dream woman that she could have told me we were getting married on any damn day, and I'd be like, all right, honey, we're there. Like, come on, dude. Block it out for a day.
That's what you want.
It's your day, by the way. I'm with you on the I don't want to attend a wedding in the middle of October, but my wife tells me to show up, I'm going to show up.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's the way I am.
I feel like anyone would be like, for your wedding, yes.
No, I think you're an
mind.
asshole if you're a husband that's like, well, about football. And when your wife's been thinking about this day her entire life, shut up and go get married.
Yeah, no. I think that's a common take. I think it's more like, don't ask me to come to your wedding.
No. Don't demand that I show up.
Yeah,
like, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm with you on that one, but don't be out here going,
if it's my wedding.
You get married on a Saturday. I mean, it was the last home game Georgia lost, but don't blame me.
All right, well, don't get married again. So.
Yeah, don't blame me. I don't plan on it. Oh, man.
Well, then we're good.
Yeah, maybe a renewal of the vows.
Don't do that either. Nothing.
Yeah, no, I will. A 10-year anniversary, we'll dip off during the bye week or something and go do something.
All right.
But a consensus of they're only ranked behind 2021, 2022, and 2023.
I think that's pretty fair. I think them and the 2019 team and 25 team are kind of neck and neck, but I would put them on paper as, the fourth best.
Also, back to the wife conversation. If my wife gave any single solitary damn about football, I don't think we'd work. I spend 18 hours a day thinking and watching and talking football. If I went upstairs and was getting prodded about Georgia football, I would be, I just couldn't do it.
I think I found the perfect happy medium of she loves Georgia, she loves watching Georgia games, but outside of that, does not care. Doesn't want to talk about it. She'll ask about it, and she'll watch a game with a smile on her face, but outside of that, it's I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who enjoys being around it, but it's not their life.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the heavy lifting for their personality.
What's next?
What is next? We can
watch the Michigan State kid.
Yeah, do you want to watch
Georgia
this kid?
might flip?
Yeah, do we have a name on this?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
So this is a current Michigan State commitment. Sorry, I'm texting a source.
Anything fun? Anything we can talk about on the show?
Just a specific source saying he needs to be the one to go after a specific player. Feels like he could land him.
Tyron Wortham.
Let's go watch it.
From the state of Florida, currently committed to Michigan State.
Boy, John Smith. What y'all know about John Smith?
We're going to find out how good he is on the trail right
What
here.
y'all know about? Oh, my God, look at this field.
Oh, I know.
Holy hell, this is out the mud Florida football right here, baby.
I hope it just rained or something.
I'm liking this already. Oh, we're sliding out here. Oh! I would have liked to see us.
Does he kept his balance?
Oh, boo!
No, corner.
Boo to this corner.
Corner, no.
Oh, man, they put this up on the film Monday in the meeting room and laughed at your butt.
The classic.
Oh, my
Keeping
God,
his balance
dude.
there, though.
The classic all shucks mid play. I bet he does it again, too. Nah.
Bad body language. No FPE on that guy. Uh-oh.
That was Pickens-esque.
Huh. 3-star?
I think he has a 4-star composite rating.
Okay.
You said he's from Florida?
Yeah, what area of Florida?
Sarasota.
Is that's close to the beach, isn't it?
Yes.
He's gliding.
Huh. It's not an area. So just future reference, most of Coley's Florida in-state or Florida State recruiting comes from inland. Mm-hmm. He doesn't recruit a lot of beach cities and beach towns. Based off, I've geolocated some of these recruits over the last year. It's a lot of mid-Florida, North Florida, Central Florida, not really recruiting the beach towns. This is his first beach town.
Is the football worse in beach? No, I guess not, because Brunswick puts out a lot of high talent. And
Brunswick's a beach town?
It's 15. It's 15 minutes.
I think Brunswick's a port town. I don't think Brunswick's a beach town.
I mean, St. Simons is you cross the bridge and you're in St. Simons.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. But where's Lakeland located?
I don't know.
Look at that for me. Whoa! What a ball! What a ball from the Q right here. By the way, he's played with multiple quarterbacks in this film.
Lakeland is near Tampa.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, mid-Florida, just east of Tampa.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, look at me. Geology. Is that geology? Geography. Geology's rocks.
Yes.
Geography is locations. A little jet sweep action right
He's
here.
a smooth runner.
Oh, I love the ball switch right there. We're a football player, dude.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Smooth.
Bro, shout out John Smith. You know what I mean? Even if this dude does get ripped up out of your commitment class, holy hell, dude. Wow. What a football player.
I mean, obviously not many people found him either, because his visits that he took are UCF, Georgia, Kansas State, and Michigan State.
Oh. One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah.
One more time on that.
The visits that he took this summer were UCF, Georgia, Kansas State, and Michigan State.
Huh.
He's a 2026 kid?
Yeah.
Would you like to know what he ran in the 100 meter?
Please.
That's a 10.98 guy for sure.
11.32.
Is that 2025?
11th grade.
So 2024? Probably stop running. That tape says he's way faster than 11.3.
Yeah,
11.3 is Travis Smith tape. We've seen Travis Smith tape. That's not fast.
Has he camped?
Oh, this was the guy that won the MVP for wide receivers at the Under Armour camp
Okay.
in Orlando.
There you go.
All right.
Because they probably got those times.
I bet he ran fast there too.
Yeah.
This is so classic. I'm just looking at his recruiting profile. So he committed to Michigan State on June 22nd, just a couple of days after he visited Michigan State. By the way, was a previous UCF commit. So John Smith took him out of Florida from a Florida school. After he commits to Michigan State, there's an Auburn offer just a few days later.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll say we tried.
Do we go by Jonathan Smith or John Smith if you were Jonathan Smith?
I mean, Jonathan's a phenomenal name.
I think John Smith is like the quintessential generic name, though.
Very much so.
Why is that? What?
Why is this so plain?
Why is that like
Jon's three letters?
No, why is John Smith like the guy that the settler, and why is that like here's the generic name? I guess because John and Smith like two like the,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just I think a lot of people.
Well, it's
bypass him
like two
with
of the
his
most
name.
common names.
Well, Muhammad's the most common name.
I said two of the most
read a book.
common. I didn't say the most. I said two of the most.
Sorry, Jay. Well, that was just a super bad shot.
Oh, swing and a miss, Kirby.
You just haven't seen the movie.
We got to stretch, by the way, boys. What do we know about all of Georgia's
I've seen
opponents
Superbad.
following this fall camp?
Say that again.
Sorry, we're arguing. Me and Jay were arguing.
You do it all the time, all right?
All right, we're 2 weeks into fall camp around college football.
Okay.
And I feel like we've learned some things about some of Georgia's opponents. Okay. I think we've learned that Tennessee is indeed as thin as humanly possibly can be at the weaponry position. We know they're going to start a true freshman at right tackle when y'all go up to Knoxville or Neyland to play those guys. We think we know it's going to be Joey Aguilar. There was a report today about it. I texted Tennessee sources. They said it's about 60-40. A chance that Aguilar is going to start.
Does that worry you if you're a Tennessee fan that he hasn't locked that up?
No, he
got there in June.
We have to slow play that, by the way. We have to let Merklinger think he lost that at the last minute. You know?
That's fair.
There's that.
I would say, like, for Florida, we know that they have a threat at quarterback, a guy that you certainly keep in the back of your mind, but just not sure about the rest of the pieces. Like, they have a really solid running game. People expect the offensive line to be good, but the defense, I just don't know what to think about. I can't get the spring game performance out of my mind whatsoever. The fact that they were giving up, like, over 200 yards receiving to players and whatnot, like, that just blows my mind. Not even DJ Lagway at quarterback. It's Harrison Bailey and the backup that were throwing footballs that day. So just don't know where to place them necessarily.
Yeah. To piggyback off of the floor thing, we know that they have a weapon at quarterback. We know that offense is probably going to be very good this year with the running game. We don't know how healthy he's going to be come the time you play him. It's a November game.
We also know nothing about that defense.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Other than Caleb Banks and Sapp.
Do Florida fans like Austin Armstrong?
Last year they did not.
I like him, but that's me. I like the way he talks football.
Yeah.
I know last year they were fed up.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think it's unfair at this point where we are right now with everything that we've seen the last 365 days from DJ Lagway to at least ask, is he going to be available come this game because of the health concerns? He didn't finish the Georgia game last year. He had 6 attempts and got injured.
I'll tell you what, I think we do know about Tennessee. That's going to be a tough defense to play against.
That's going to be that's going to be like...
It's going to be a first test for you guys.
The only good thing is that you likely won't play against Jermod McCoy.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you do, it'll be
a very...
Like he's just now starting to play.
Will Johnson. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. It's a preseason All-American. Somebody who played first-round caliber corner when he was healthy last year and just tore his knee up in January. I don't know about you guys. I'd be getting ready to combine. Wouldn't y'all?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance there's a Will Johnson situation there.
Now, in Will Johnson's defense, he was also coming off a natty season where the high was as high as it ever was. And there wasn't necessarily questions you had to answer, but you are absolutely right that this is probably, like, we've seen guys shut it down before.
And look, he's been attacking rehab. He's back in practice. If he gets to play come Georgia time, he's one of the nation's best corners. I'm just saying there's an opportunity where we're getting to a day and age where NFL prospects look at college as, I have an opportunity to protect myself here.
I've made my money.
All of the, I'm not going to call them excuses. I'm going to have all the reasonings behind, I don't need to be rushing myself back.
Mm-hmm. And going on Tennessee, we don't know what Gunnar Stockton's going to look like in that environment.
Yeah.
We've seen him in high pressure moments. We've seen him take over while down in the SEC championship game against Texas. We saw him start a college football playoff game. Say what you want about how big those roles and games were. Neither of them were on the road in the SEC.
Without Brock Bowers playing through an ankle injury the last time they went to Knoxville, I don't know if they crawl out of that one. When Jalen Hyatt rushes for a 75-yard touchdown and the damn building almost comes down, there was a lot of,
Now, they locked in before.
They did.
Jalen Wright, by the way.
Jalen Wright. What did I say? Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, Jalen Wright. When Jalen Wright hit that 75-yard touchdown, that place was bonkers. And it took several big plays from Brock, I felt like, midway through first and second quarter to establish themselves. And then we start throwing trick plays to Dylan Bell to ice the football game.
Well, Carson Beck led like a very good drive down that field. Like they
afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think that there's an avenue where they don't win that game.
That was the game where they immediately got on the ball.
Yes.
Remember? We recognized what they were doing.
Didn't let crowd noise become a factor.
So brilliant. So brilliant. Only this show noticed, by the way.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I think that we also understand. I think going into the Georgia Tech matchup this year, not that you didn't know what they were going to do last year, but I think you're certainly going to be more prepared for what they're going to try and do this year. Now, this gets played into as well, like you mentioned with DJ Lagway, of who knows what the heck Haynes King is going to look like, but Haynes King was banged all the way up last year going into the Georgia game, like to the extent where nobody thought he was going to play. Like even moments before kickoff, it sounded like that they were going to go with Philo. They weren't going to play Haynes King, and Haynes King plays the entire game. But I think that this year they're going to be much more prepared for that matchup.
Yeah.
I also think that going into Ole Miss, we know that they've lost a lot of talent this year, and that they're probably not going to on paper be as good of a team. We don't really know what they look like though. We've talked about it. We've seen Austin Simmons for a drive and some change. There's not a lot of tape. Now, there will be by the time that they come into Athens, but there's a lot of question marks just around what that Ole Miss team looks like in general.
Chat's giving me pushback on that Tennessee game. I vividly remember a corner route smash concept getting thrown to Brock Bowers on a pivotal 3rd and 12 midway through that first quarter. I also remember almost like a button hook that they ran into quarters coverage to Brock.
I think
it's like 40 yards in the middle of the first half, and then they iced him the rest of the game because he was hurt.
Brock had a great game in that. I think you're forgetting how big Dylan Bell played in that game.
No, I know.
That was the Dylan Bell coming out.
I know he had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a throwing touchdown.
Yep.
I know he broke did a record thing.
I'll give it to you this way.
Not just the touchdowns. Like he had contested catches and
back shoulder fades in that football game. I don't know.
Brock's performance against Tennessee that year was very akin to Ladd McConkey's performance against Auburn that year.
Yeah.
Ladd was coming back from his injury. That was the first game he played in, and he didn't necessarily light it up, but just about every freaking third down that they had in the first half of that football game went to 84.
It's a great
call. I thought the biggest play in that game was Kamari's pick.
Did the Tennessee game?
Didn't he have or did he?
He broke up what would have been a 70-yard completion.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like literally,
and tracked it perfectly.
One of the best DB plays I've seen. Javon Bullard broke up a touchdown as well in that game.
Yep.
But no, another question I think we have is, we have absolutely no clue what this Alabama offense is going to look like.
Or Ole Miss, for that matter.
That too. But for Alabama, like we've talked about, and it's much more, pronounced with Alabama, because we talked about it. Jalen Milroe did not fit a Kalen DeBoer system. It did not go with anything that he enjoys doing. He now has a quarterback that has a, quote, Kalen DeBoer system. And sure, you can go watch the Washington tape. You can go watch when they had Michael Penix and other guys like that. But there's a lot of questions, and you're not going to see a lot on tape because it's the 3rd, 4th week of the season for you.
Yeah, I might go turn Jake Haener tape on.
Oh,
far more of a comparison for Ty Simpson than Michael Penix.
I love Jake Haener at Fresno
Don't you agree or disagree?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to figure out what you're going to do, are you going to have the lefty who's one of the best pocket passers we've seen in college football the last 5 years, or the 5'10", not as elite physically gifted Jake Haener?
Mm-hmm.
Probably more apropos to compare him to Jake Haener.
For sure.
I think he's a mix in between the two, by the way.
Yeah.
But there's that.
This is an overarching one that I think that we don't necessarily know, but we don't know how this Georgia team is going to match up physically against the Alabamas and the Texases of the world. The games where we've talked about, you have to play a physical brand of football to win them, especially against these top talented teams. We don't know how Georgia matches up against that. We saw Georgia push around Texas for the most part last year, but we don't know that's going to be the case this year.
Whatever questions we have about Texas, there's no point in asking right now. We're going to know by mid-November when you play.
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
So there's that. But some of these teams you play early on, it's like...
Tennessee and Bama.
You got Tennessee and Bama in moments of times where, like... Is Alabama play anybody that we're going to have to actually push them prior to Georgia playing them?
I think so. I don't know.
Do they have a Tennessee on the schedule? That Tennessee-Georgia game could be 27-24 going into the fourth.
They have Florida State. And take that with what you will. Florida State, Wisconsin.
We all think they're going to beat Florida State by 30.
Their first 3 games of the season are Florida State, ULM Monroe, Wisconsin.
So they will not be tested.
Most likely no.
There is a very, very strong chance that they put nothing on offense.
Absolutely.
They put nothing on tape in those first 3 weeks because they have the opportunity to do so.
There's also a chance that Florida State comes out and you give them a 30 minutes of, we got put these guys away now. So, and we all laugh at that because of how bad Florida State was, but we watched this team have a 3-quarter battle with USF last year.
Yeah.
We watched this team lose to Vanderbilt last year. Like, we watched this team piss away a 28-point lead to Georgia last year. So there were times where it was like things were not clicking on all cylinders. So they very well may have to, pull out some things out of the bag of tricks in the first 3 weeks.
I know we just said we're going to have a lot of answers, but I do have a lot of questions about Texas. Is Ryan Wingo going to be an Elite X? He was really good last year as a true freshman, but y'all are a Matthew Golden offense.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter of important football games.
Yep.
You were a Gunnar Helm offense. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't have those guys.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a question.
Your interior defensive line was the best in the sport last year. We felt like.
How long does it take
those guys are back?
CJ Baxter to get back up to speed? Because
is Justice Terry ready to play? As
great as CJ Baxter has looked in fall camp, we all know how it is, though, when you get into game settings, especially at running back. I feel like you see this way more at running back than you do some other positions of it takes you a little bit to like get back into game speed and like get back into like reading game situations in those moments. Then you hit on it like Justice Terry being ready, but like that defensive line in general, the defense in general, they have some really, really good football players.
Freshman All-American from Syracuse they poached. They got my man Travis Shaw from North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, the Syracuse one was like, damn, y'all out here stealing folks, dude. Whoa.
Here's another one that I think has the possibility to be we don't know. We don't know how this team defends the pass, and we probably won't know until we get to maybe Tennessee. Like we feel like they're going to be a team that tries to pass the ball this year, but we've seen it before. These group of 5, easy wins don't come out and throw the ball. They very much are, all right, we're going to get in here, we're going to take our lumps, and we're going to end this game as quick as possible. We're going to sit on the football, we're going to run it, and we're just going to get beat 45-0.
Jonathan, do you remember how Florida played Tennessee last year defensively?
Yeah.
I remember watching it
and
just being like, oh my God, they're running cover 1 man.
Every play.
They're loading the box. Florida is telling Tennessee, on the road, by the way, there is no way in Sam's hell today any of your wide receivers are beating me. And I think a lot of SEC teams are going to do that to them this year. I don't know if Georgia's going to because they've never had to load the box against these guys. But I bet the Alabamas of the world do this to them.
Yeah.
I bet the Floridas of the world do this to them. I guarantee you they're going to get into situations where nobody fears their weapons.
I mean, if Tennessee doesn't run, you loaded the box last year because you had Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
If you don't if you don't even have a threat the running game, what's forcing you to do that?
Well, the threat for them running the ball was always they can throw it beyond you, so we can't load the box. But if you can't throw it behind me, I ain't never worried about you.
Exactly.
So that's what it was last year for them. If Aguilar hits 2 or 3 of those to start the season, you might have to have teams back off of them. But we don't know what they're going to be.
And if I remember correctly, was the Florida game the one where Nico got hurt in the second half?
We're thinking Graham Mertz got hurt in that game. Graham Mertz got hurt throwing a touchdown.
You're correct. Merklinger came into a football game last year.
And I think it was the Florida game.
Might have been. I just remember Graham Mertz spraining his ankle off of what I believe was a touchdown. So, like, literally walking off the field and spraining his ankle. And it was the DJ Lagway show from there on out. But
checking the box score.
I am too.
Oh, no, he did not get hurt.
I was just saying, I don't think Nico got hurt in that game. I don't remember Nico.
I thought he got hurt against a mid-major. It was Arkansas.
That's what it was.
Arkansas, he took a rib shot.
Yep.
And got hurt against Arkansas.
I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, dude, we've got 9 career attempts from Jake Merklinger. Oof. 4 against Chattanooga and 5 against Kent State.
I think it's also worth noting that we don't really know what this Auburn offense is going to look like with Jackson Arnold. We have an idea of the type of quarterback Jackson Arnold is.
Hughes hyped him up.
Yeah, we know that. We know that Hugh Freeze believes in it. We know that they have weapons at the wide receiver position. We've seen that plenty. But we don't know what it's going to look like altogether. We don't know how schematically it's going to work. We don't know that. And we will, like we said, get answers toward that because that's a mid-season game. But right now, we don't know.
I want to bring this up, and I know that Brooks and I talked about it, and we ultimately know who the person is calling the plays down there. But there was a quote that came out about how Auburn has one guy that is in control of planning first downs, a guy that's in control of second downs, and then Hugh Freeze is the guy calling the shots on third down. Ultimately, Hugh Freeze is the one making the decisions, but the idea that we have 3 guys that are contributing to calling plays down there in an offense that is already pretty complicated blows my mind.
You're more in tune to how the coaching dynamics and the politics
Those
work.
are bullshit titles.
I was going to say, are those just
bullshit titles? I hate to demean those 2 football coaches, but that's what that is. That is Hugh Freeze telling everybody that he's got 2 young coaches he believes in and he needs to give them a title. He's calling plays, guys.
Yeah.
He's calling plays on first down. He's calling plays on second down, third down, fourth down. He's the OC. He's the play caller. He's the one that's going to throw the quarterback under the bus when he goes to the microphone after the game.
I think he already did it in fall camp. I remember reading that.
He already did it. He already said Jackson's got to stop doing too much. Mm-hmm. Already. We ain't even seen you play yet, buddy. So yeah, no, the whole like co-OC, pass game coordinator, like, buddy, no, you're not. Okay, look, everybody's been in these meetings that has played football. They know how this works, right? The wide receiver coach comes in on Sundays and he tells everybody what the defensive scheme is that everybody else plays, right? Hey, we got Memphis this week. Memphis is a quarters team. 75% of the time, they play 10% cover 3. They play 10% or 20% cover 1 blitz 0, right? That right there could be labeled pass game coordinator if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to justify means to an end to give my coach a boost or a bonus, that's all I got to do. Sorry to demean those football coaches. That's my outsider's perspective of that.
No, yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking of more. It's like, these are more titles than it's got to go up the chain of command where you got one guy calling plays on the first 2 downs and then third down and then it goes through Hugh Freeze. Like,
if that is true, it's asinine.
Oh, for sure.
If it's true that on first down, one guy's in the headset and on third down, another guy's in the headset calling plays, asinine. It would be so weird.
Yeah.
It would also
we got 3 different game plans going on in that scenario.
It would also be a very controversial thing, I believe, and that would have been broken before. Like, I don't think that if this was the case, Hugh Freeze is just now adapting this system. Like, he's been a college football coach for 10 years now, so I don't necessarily think that's probably true, but...
What's up?
No.
Oh, it looked like you were about to say something.
No, I got nothing. What else do we know or not know? I don't know anything about Ole Miss's defense.
No.
Nope. Really, their entire team to me feels very unknown.
I think I know they're going to be able to throw the football.
Against you, though, is the question.
I don't know anything about their run game. I don't know anything about their offensive line.
Nope.
I don't know anything, like I said, about their defense. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about Austin Simmons. I know he's talented. Mm-hmm. I know he's left-handed. I know he's a good athlete.
Is it fair to say we don't know anything and don't really need to know anything about Mississippi State?
Yeah, no. I mean, you talk about Deuce Knight playing for Auburn. Kamario Taylor's going to play for Mississippi State at some point this year. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to save his job. We're going to have to roll out the freshman and let everybody know that we got talent coming our way.
Does Mark Stoops even have one of those?
No. Mark Stoops has no opportunity for that, except for the freshman that beat out Brock Vandegrift last year, which he didn't love enough because he went out and brought in Zach Calzada. If you're bringing in Zach Calzada from Incarnate Ward, you're telling me you don't believe in the freshman that just beat out the former 5-star you paid millions to get to transfer to you?
Do we, and I feel like we can say this with enough confidence, do we know for a fact you are not going to have a repeat of what happened in Lexington last year?
What happened in Lexington last year?
Where last year you have so
Other
many.
than the 13-6 laid an egg.
Yeah, you have so many busts on the offense. You basically get out physical through 3/4 of a game. You got punched in the mouth repeatedly to the point you had to wake up and go, oh.
I mean, you get a lot of games at home. Most of these flat performances, I feel like, in the Kirby Smart regime have come on the road. I think of Missouri 2022. I think of the 16-6 game against Kentucky back in 2019. I think
That was also 22.
I think of this one, like, there's a lot of these road games where you show up, you lay eggs. Ole Miss last year.
I mean, you came out flat against Mississippi State in 2022.
Yep.
Yeah,
In the first half.
And Lad McConkey had to take one deep for you guys to get on top of that one.
Oh, the end around, yeah.
Yeah.
Give up a punt return to end the half. Weird
So
game.
you're right. It is those types of away games.
That's the first game I covered, actually.
Nice. We had Jeremiah Stoddard in the booth on that one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, them folks at Mississippi State let just about anybody in.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Let's go. We might get a trio road trip this year.
Oh, dude, we're gonna get one. I mean, there's no Vandy game this year, right?
No.
They're always nice to us. Auburn's always nice to us. We'll get.
But I'll
to
be
that,
coming.
I
I'll be
think.
coming in late for that game.
That's right. We'll get to it at Mississippi State. I feel like we won't get to it Georgia because
What about Tennessee?
No, probably not.
Did we talked about this? Didn't we get approved in 2023? But he couldn't go because he had a wedding.
Yeah, there's something going on to where like we had already went ahead. There was one where I had to email the SID and tell them like I will not be there for this one. Actually,
I thought that was a Kentucky game.
I've never been to Kentucky, so
They're another group that lets us have whatever we want.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're very nice to us. So
Tennessee was fun though.
Tennessee was fun. They're good people. That press box is 5 miles in the sky, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing is way up there.
who cares?
Yeah, I did.
You spent no time in the press box.
No, I did that game. I did. Remember, I had to come up. I got kicked off the sideline.
Yeah, and then this is what happens. Brooks is like, Brooks is obviously taking pregame photos. I'm up top writing. He texts me. He's like, we're like 5-10 minutes before kickoff. Teams are warming up. He goes, I'm just gonna stay down here and see if I can stay. Midway through the second quarter, he comes up and he's like, "Yeah, they got me."
They finally got me.
He stands.
Oh, you didn't get a photo cred?
No.
For
Some of these stadiums have like prior to 30 minutes you can be down there, and depending on how lax look, dude. I'm sorry. I hope you don't get mad at me, Tennessee SID. But if your security team is so lax that I just get to stand on the field until someone tells me I'm not supposed to be there, I'm probably going to stand on the field.
Yeah. No.
Am I wrong for that?
No, not at all. Take it but literally what happens is he comes up, he's like, yeah, they told me how to go. He stands behind me, didn't even sit next to me, stands behind me, watches, I think, one drive and goes, all right, I think I'm going to go back down there and see if I can sneak on. I was like, no, man, I didn't see him for the rest of the game, so he made it back on.
You just snitched.
If the Tennessee SID is watching,
We were fine until you mentioned he got back down there.
I don't think I got back down there.
Yeah, he did.
Where was he?
I don't think I did.
He didn't.
Where was he for the
I
other
remember
2
drinking
quarters?
Dr. Pepper in the press box.
Dude, I didn't.
I remember the press box seat I had. The one in front of me was too high. I couldn't see the bottom.
I didn't even look. I didn't even snitch on what the funniest thing about that story was. I'm not going to say it on air, but
I don't even know what you're talking about. Off air.
we'll do it off air.
We'll do it off air.
But yeah, no. I think,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
That was
supposed to
when he told me this, I literally looked back and said, "You did what? Like you really?
dire situations.
Yeah.
Calls for dire circumstances, dire decision making processes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
That was fun. Appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We'll see you tomorrow. Last show, best show. Love you. Bye.